The way it go. Playing outside up here. Oh, let me turn off that desktop audio. I meant to mute that. I'm trying to see. I'm testing the stream again today, so let me hop in the emergency line just in case the mods need a hold of me. That'll work. So Bullshifter was here, and he was planning on spending a few days, but that got cut kind of short. But that's all right. I think he was just really bored, so he's like, "Fuck it, I gotta go." But he just texted me he's almost home. He didn't want to stay up till 4 a.m. every day. Oh no. I didn't want to stay up till 4 p.m. That's why I haven't been home most of the day. I need to turn off the guest camera, I guess. Hold on. And then kill this music. What's up, everybody? Will here with Cold Break Confessional. Thank you for joining us. We got a couple stuff to go over. I'm just playing this game in the background, but we've got a video to watch. To decode what's going on with Phil. Who knows? I need my glasses on before I get a headache. Yeah, we stayed up late last night. Then I felt like shit when I woke up this morning because I'm old and shouldn't be staying up late. And then Bullshifter had to go home and take care of some stuff that he didn't realize was going on. So he left. He was planning on spending a couple days here, but that didn't work out. So, yeah. If you didn't see the stream last night, we were on there forever. We didn't actually stream at Hooters because Bullshifter wouldn't give me the seat I wanted. So I was pretty mad at him the rest of the day. But he is almost home. I just messaged him if you know he's going home. I literally just messaged him to see if he's okay, and he didn't mess me back because he was driving, but he said he stopped at the Wawa by his house to get a burger. So he must be getting awful close if he's going to stop and get a Wawa cheeseburger. So he said, I'm almost home. I stopped at Wawa to get a cheeseburger. That was the exact message back. So he won't be here, even though I'm sure we'll meet up again. You know what I mean? But we actually might be planning on taking the boys down there this summer to do like a little mini vacation thing. So we'll be together again. But I'll be at his place maybe, or he might come back up here sometimes. I don't know. He seemed like he enjoyed it. Either way, thank you for joining us. If you want to support the stream, you guys know how to do it. The first video we're going to listen to is a crazy. Me and Bullshifter listened to it last night, but there wasn't hardly anybody here because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when we listened to it. So let me see if I can find it, or at least a link to it. But it is it's Phil's unhinged decoding rant. Let me do this first. I want to turn this down so I can hear it too. I know you guys are not gonna be able to hear the game. It's just gonna be playing in the background. But I want to turn it down to where I can hear the video in case I want to stop it or mess with it. There is no video aspect to it. It's just a recording of him talking. So let me kill some of this audio. That'll work. Cinematic volume. Yeah, turn that shit down. All right, so that's ready to go. Let me grab the video that I think Mariah sent it to me last night. Let me see. It's pretty unhinged. Get your papers out. Get your decoding papers out. Everybody should be taking notes, I hope. You've learned enough now. I'm going to release you guys on your own. You better be taking notes on this shit. It is a total of about 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn on the desktop audio where you guys can hear it. And here you go. This is what Phil released yesterday. So what happened was he was supposed to go live, and then he decided he wasn't supposed to go live. And then he was supposed to go manatee. Like, he was supposed to do a manatee show. And the manatee didn't go, and he made it seem like someone decided it wasn't his decision. someone decided for him. He even said something weird about like going to prime time or some weird shit like that. So that was very strange. Then he was supposed to go live that night, right? Instead of Manatee, he was going to go live that night. That didn't happen either. So he instead went with the I'm just going to do an unhinged reading of all this weird stuff. And it basically sounds like he used just a random sins generator like I used to when I used to make videos like making fun of him driving around in his car. And then his private chat was discussed. Somebody's like, that's not Phil. And they're like, yes, it was. We were in there. We listened to him. No, that's not him. That's somebody else. I could tell. But it was Phil. And they've been trying to decode it. Merit Ack. Thank you for joining us over on Rumble. Rumble's live too right now just because it had to do with Phil. So I'm going to play that in the background. I don't care if you like video games or not. It's muted anyways. I'm going to be playing this while you guys listen. If we need to go back over it, we will. If we need to talk about it, we will. A lot of unhinged, phrases. I don't know what to say here. I don't know what to call it.
It's going to be very, very quick. The person you were before doesn't like paying taxes.
Oh, I forgot I can do this. I have the pop-out player. I forgot. I can show you guys over the screen, even though I don't see it. So let me set that up quickly. Sorry. I kind of forgot I had that. It is window capture. And it should be window capture. Okay. Let's call that pop out. And it'll look like it's over the gameplay, even though it's not. And that way, if you watch any other videos, I already have it set up. Window capture. Phil's words. Enhancer for YouTube. That's right. There it is, boys. There she is. Hopefully, I don't die while I'm doing this, but there you go. It's going to be playing right there. Good luck.
It's going to be very, very quick. The person you were before doesn't like paying taxes. Nothingness sickens me. A great silence says hello. A great silence reveals its authority. The fly is good for you. Wondrous awe sat down once more. A sickeningly prodigious profile shakes beliefs widely held.
Sickeningly prodigious profile.
Will take you to places you never expected to visit. The clear star that is yesterday bathes in sunlight. The fly brings both pleasure and pain. Clear water is cosmopolitan, having a trained assassin stay overnight. Pinocchio lies ahead. What with the future yet to come? Pinocchio is not all that great.
Pinocchio's not that great. That's true.
Is nonsensical, much like you. A principal idea has your skin crawling. 7 worms are often pregnant. Passion and serendipity is not very coherent. A glittering gem approaches at high velocity. Lucky number 11.
11. That's right. You heard it.
Much like candy. Significant understanding stole the goods. Too long a stick takes the world for granted. Style runs through everything. A shooting star bathed in sunlight. Rock music welcomes spring. Style comes asking for bread. Organizational culture.
It's the live stream he did.
To her child. That way visits Japan in the winter. Sex is always a pleasure. Another day is like a painted flower. It never wilts. Gasoline asked you a question?
Did Gasoline ask you a question, chat?
The last sentence you saw ever stuns the onlooker. Colorful clay gambles with lives, happiness, and even destiny itself. The body of mind would likely capture an inquiry, something about you. Whiskey on the table can get both high and low. Old Apple likes to take a walk in the park.
Old apples and walk in the parks, am I right? Guys, am I right? It always happens to me.
Stay overnight. Chair number 11 is
And Slevin.
in the interrelatedness of all things. That memory makes people shiver.
Earn your keep, Burberry.
The pillow is often one floor above you. Whiskey on the table rains heavily. Stupidity sat down once more. Significant understanding would die for a grapefruit.
For a grapefruit. Got it.
Insignificance shot the sheriff. The legend of the raven's roar brings both pleasure and pain.
Pleasure and pain.
A glittering gem reveals its authority. Lonely Henry makes people shiver. A river 1,000 paces wide is belief.
Show me something good.
A late night always strikes for the heart.
Makes sense. Late night hearts.
Incoyism needs to sit down. A great silence is omnipresent, much like candy.
Something's different.
A flailing monkey is good for you.
What the hell is going on?
Insignificance does not make any sense. The same monkey tells the tale of the towers.
The tale of the Twin Towers. Makes sense.
Takes over the shadows. Utter nonsense comes asking for bread.
Let's do some recon.
The last sentence you saw loves to love.
Watches up.
A shooting star welcomes the night above. Nothingness ever stuns the onlooking growth of man. Everything and more always strikes deeply.
Show me something good.
Pinocchio could not tell a lie. A caring mother would scare any linguist away. A principal idea can get both high and low. Stew and rum is not enough.
Y'all picking up on it yet? Plain as day.
A sickeningly prodigious profile will take you places you never expected to visit. A wave loudly crashing against a long shoreline is nonsensical in every aspect. Stupidity is often pregnant. Lonely Henry.
Pregnant stupidity. Got it.
That your theorem would unleash. Fashion makes people shiver. Nothing of importance revels in authority. An old banana says goodbye to the shooter. The light at the end of the tunnel is always a pleasure. And that'll do it for tonight.
Oh my God, no.
In more than one way. And in, I guess, my own way. I was able to tell you just now everything that I was going to tell you. And unfortunately, I don't know when the next time I'll be able to tell you.
Okay.
Could be tomorrow.
Don't stop Phil believing.
Regardless.
Phil leaving. But believe? I don't know how you say it.
You guys have come a very long way in terms of decodes. And I think if you really dive into the things that I just said, I think they will resonate with you in many ways. Just remember, you shouldn't be looking for very basic terms such as, you know, like
That ain't natural.
something easy that you would see, like the storm is coming. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's a phrase associated with our movement and whatever, like the Great Awakening or
Your keeper, brain.
you know, JFK Jr. is alive or anything like that. Like,
Don't expect the storm is coming. Okay.
should be focusing on, based on the things that I said tonight, are much more.
Doesn't it sound like he's never coming back? Doesn't it sound like he's quitting? That's the first thing I thought when he said it. Like, he's like, maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll never be back. Like, it sounds like he's quitting. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it sounds like. For sure. Sounds like he's done. Dunzo.
You know, JFK Jr. is alive or anything like that. Like, the things that you should be focusing on, based on the things that I said tonight, are much more advanced types of information that you have not heard yet. So I think if you focus on those things specifically, on those types of decodes specifically, I think you'll get a lot closer to what we were trying to say here. Obviously, there's only 1,000 people here on the chat, so not everybody got this information tonight.
Instead of a gajillion, there's only 1,000 people here tonight.
About it either. Maybe one of you guys recorded this. If you did, that's fine.
Makes sense.
So yeah, dive in. Good luck. I love you guys.
That's what he leaves us with. That's what Phil leaves us with. What do you think's going on? I have no idea, honestly. Like, it's going to keep playing because the person was just like kept recording for another minute or two just to see what was up. But yeah, that was it. That's what we were left with. After all of that, that's what we've been left with. What do you think about it, guys? Is it legit? Is he quitting? You just building up anticipation, you think? Has nothing to do with it? Who knows? What do you think? What do we think? It's his goodbye? A lot of people have said that. I don't know. I mean, that, it could be. Very well may could be. That's the first thing I thought when I heard it, right? I thought, oh, is he just like retiring and never coming back? He made enough money finally or what? But now I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. Like, he always says weird cryptic shit. I don't know what the fuck to do about it or to make out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just always weird cryptic shit. I'm trying not to alert those two vampires right there. I don't know what that one is, but that one right there is like going back and forth. That one looks scary as shit, just sitting up there. There's 3 more over there. There's going to be a bunch of them to fight. But I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what he means. I have no idea what he's doing. It looks like to my right is the entrance to the nest. I don't want to storm up the whole nest. It's very strange that it even came out. It's very strange that even I don't know. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, it's different than his car ones, right? We can all agree to that. Let's just do it one more time. See if you can tell, like, from the inflection in his voice, what you think is a positive or a negative message. It's different than when he's driving around. You know what I mean? He's never said, I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or never or whatever he says.
It's going to be very, very quick. The person you were before doesn't like paying taxes. Nothingness sickens me. A great silence says hello. A great silence reveals its authority. The fly is good for you. Wondrous awe sat down once more. A sickeningly prodigious profile shakes beliefs widely held. A late night will take you to places you never expected to visit. The clear star that is yesterday bathes in sunlight. A fly brings both pleasure and pain. Clear water is cosmopolitan, having a trained assassin.
So to be clear, I know all the words are bullshit. It's just mumbo jumbo. I'm trying to figure out what's his inflection. Does it sound like, ha fuckers, I'm running off with all the money? Or does it sound like, I got to get out of here before I'm exposed? Does it sound like I'm just doing this to hype people up, I guess?
Stay overnight.
I don't think the words mean anything. I'm not trying to figure that out.
Lies ahead. What with the future yet to come? Pinocchio is not all that great. That memory we used to share is nonsensical, much like you. A principal idea has your skin crawling. 7 worms are often pregnant. Passion and serendipity is not very coherent. A glittering gem approaches at high velocity. Lucky number 11 is omnipresent, much like candy. Significant understanding stole the goods. Too long a stick takes the world for granted. Style runs through everything. A shooting star bathed in sunlight. Rock music welcomes spring. Style comes asking for bread. Organizational culture tenderly sees to her child. That way visits Japan in the winter. Sex is always a pleasure. Another day is like a painted flower. It never wilts. Gasoline asked you a question? The last sentence you saw ever stuns the onlooker. Colorful clay gambles with lives, happiness, and even destiny itself. The body of mind would likely capture an inquiry, something about you. Whiskey on the table can get both high and low, but an old apple likes to take a walk in the park. We are having a trained assassin stay overnight.
A trained assassin stay overnight.
His belief
Slevens.
in the interrelatedness of all things. That memory makes people shiver. pillow is often one floor above you.
At least one floor. I would say 2 floors.
Table rains heavily. Stupidity sat down once more. Significant understanding would die for a grapefruit.
Die for a grapefruit. Now that is wild.
Insignificance shot the sheriff. The legend of the raven's roar brings both pleasure and pain. A glittering gem reveals its authority. Lonely Henry makes people shiver. A river 1,000 paces wide is belief. A late night always strikes for the heart.
The heart of the late night. Got it. Makes perfect sense.
Incoyism needs to sit down. A great silence is omnipresent, much like candy. A flailing monkey is good for you. Insignificance does not make any sense. The same monkey tells the tale of the towers.
The Twin Towers.
Takes
Put music behind it. It's a haiku.
utter nonsense comes asking for bread. The last sentence you saw, loves to love. A shooting star welcomes the night above. Nothingness ever stuns the onlooking growth of man. Everything and more always strikes deeply.
Everything and more always strikes deeply.
Pinocchio could not tell a lie.
It basically makes perfect sense. Pinocchio can't tell a lie. That makes
It
sense.
would scare any linguist away. A principal idea can get both high and low. Stew and rum is not enough.
Useful.
I must have been in the wrong trailer or something. I don't know what I did.
Prodigious profile will take you places you never expected to visit. A wave loudly crashing against a long shoreline is nonsensical in every aspect. Stupidity is often pregnant. Lonely Henry tests the thesis that your theorem would unleash. Fashion makes people shiver. Nothing of importance revels in a
Oh shit. Scared the hell out of me.
Semi-Sapien just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you for the gifted subs. Semi-Sapien.
Ghosting out.
An old banana says goodbye to the shooter. The light at the end of the tunnel is always a pleasure. And that'll do it for tonight.
So lots about bananas, lots about apples, lots about Pocono.
In more
I can't say it now. Pinocchio. I don't know why I kept trying to say Pocono.
in,
The raceway.
I guess, my own way, I was able to tell you just now everything that I was going to tell you.
Everything that was going to be on the live,
And
he's already told you just now in his own way.
when the next time I'll be able to tell you. Could be tomorrow. Regardless, you guys have come a very long way in terms of decodes. And I think if you really dive into the things that I just said, I think they will resonate with you in many ways. Just remember, you shouldn't be looking for very basic terms such as, you know, like something easy that you would see, like,
Not very basic. These are complex terms,
I
guys.
know that's a phrase associated with our movement and whatever, like the Great Awakening, or you know, JFK Jr. is alive, or anything like that. Like, the things that you should be focusing on based on the things that I said tonight are much more advanced types of information that you have not heard yet. So I think if you focus on those things specifically, on those types of decodes specifically, I think you'll get a lot closer to what we were trying to say.
You got to focus on it, though, guys. You can't ignore it.
There's only 1,000 people here.
Sounds like a long-winded goodbye. That's what I thought when I first heard it, but now I'm not so certain. I don't know.
So not everybody got this information tonight.
It
And
just doesn't seem like he's just going to up and quit. You know what I mean? Like he can't.
you guys recorded this. If you did, that's fine. So yeah, dive in. Good luck. I love you guys.
Dive in. Good luck. I love you guys. So what do we think? Does it sound like he's leaving? Maybe he is the first arrest. He's going to shock the world. Oh, he just wishes the world knew him. I've heard rumors that often Phil has been seen like out at bars and shit, like bragging, like, Google my name, dude. Look me up. Google my name. I'm in George Magazine. I don't know. Do you guys honestly think he could just give it up? I don't think he can. I don't think like his ego and shit will let him. I mean, I've been wrong before a bunch. I mean, fuck, but it just seems odd, no? Seems odd as shit. Bunch of crows up there or something. I cannot find this rabbit. What do you think? On a side note, I finally got around to doing Discord chat via PlayStation. Okay, cool. He can't give up the money and the fame. Yeah, it's like he's hooked. He can't quit. He's in too deep. But why would he say, is it just to like draw attention to himself when he says something like, I may be back tomorrow? I may never be back. You think he's just trying to like get his chat excited or whatever? Get them all keyed up for whatever reason? I was going to try to take a shower. I'm probably smelly. I'm probably covered in vampire guts and shit. I don't know, man. I got to be in the wrong trailer. When he said that, that's what made me think it was different. I've never heard him say that in his car. I've never heard him say it for, you know, other things. Like it's always been either, it's always been like his car stuff is just the stupid shit, right? Where he says like dumb things. See, it's right there. It says 32 meters as soon as I get to it. That's the trailer in it. Could it be outside? I guess. I don't know. It was a different tone than the car videos. Someone also told me today. Now I don't know if this is true or not. I'm trying to figure it out. Someone also told me today that there is proof that towards Phil's point that the text messenger made up. I have no idea. I'm looking into that, but I haven't seen any yet. But I did hear that rumor today. That's the first time I've ever heard about any proof. But like I said, it could just be a rumor. Could be one of his fans. Could be whatever. Oh, you guys think it might be that trailer instead? No. Because when I go over here and turn around, it says right there, 30 meters. And that one's 50 meters. So it's 20 meters short of my marker. It's that one. I don't know what the fuck's going on and why I can't find it. Would be a good time to use my Deadeye thing. Is it on the roof? I wouldn't think so. It's almost like I didn't do a part of the mission that I needed to do or something, but it doesn't say that. It says, Reverend David told you about Dr. Addison's young daughter, Amelia, who went missing several years ago. She asked you to go to church down the street from Addison's mansion and pick up a couple things to make the memorial, including a prayer book and Amelia's rabbit, which was left at the church on Easter celebration. But then instead of being left at the church, they donated it to the local... They donated it to the, like a toy drive, and it got sent to this trailer park. But it's almost like I didn't complete a portion of it or something, but because usually it would be on my, like up at the top where you see I'm facing like 200 degrees south right now. It's usually up there, but I don't know. There used to be a marker up there to say, you know, go here, do that. But damn, it's pretty close. And for some reason, that marker I dropped puts me just out in the middle. Is that marker kind of hold on. That marker's kind of above it to the north. And I'm kind of like at the marker. That's crazy. It's showing like that. Retrieve the toy rabbit. 48 minutes. I don't know. 48 meters. I wonder if I move forward if that changes. Hold on. But yeah, it's definitely different tone. It's a different, I guess a different thing he's trying to get out than like his normal rants or car videos or whatever you want to call them, right? It's different than that. I don't know. That's crazy. I thought it was weird. Mariah obviously sent it to me because she thought it was weird. 30 meters away, it still says, while I'm right here. So you think it might be across the street. It still says 30 meters. So let me move forward a little bit more. Because it's telling me to go there. It might be that trailer. It might be the trailer with all the zombies in it. Hell, I don't know. Or the vampires in it. Go back to the map. What's it say now? 17 meters. It's got to be across the street, don't it? And it's telling me to go there, 18 meters. But that's just out in the middle of the road. That's not across the street. But I'm worried that one that I saw back there that had all the shit in it, I think that's it. Oh, I can't believe that guy didn't see me already. Damn, I'm an idiot. That's just a car battery. It's on the back of this old truck, is it? No. That one up there is pretty heavily guarded too, but it's literally putting the thing over top this. All right, I'm 12 meters away. If I hit map, does it say 12 meters? 11 meters. Yeah, it's that marker that it's doing that to. Anyways, the shit is not the same, right? It's a different pitch. It's a different tone. A lot of people were saying he's giving up the grift, blah, blah, blah. But his own chat was fucking decoding it last night. And I don't want to get too distracted in the game. People will fucking leave. But his own chat was decoding it last night in the private chat. Let's see if I can grab it. They were arguing whether it was Phil or not. They even shared this and said, has anyone looked up the phrases? He said on the chat, this video was recorded approximately 6 months ago. How many coincidences do you need before it's mathematically impossible? Go ahead, keep doubling my intel, or keep doubting my intel. Let's see how this all turns out in the end and whose intel was accurate all along. So they reshared this video.
Sticker, Melbourne, Pine Tree Lane on the efflorescence of the cement without twice thinking of obligatory red within precisely the tree unit down the road inside of red velvet, purgatory, without reciting a single fern grove, which is
Show me something good.
Just another crazy, fern grove and shit like that. Parsnip, kind of normal Phil bullshit, right? Oh, they're rewinding it or something. Hold on.
abundance via chemicals. Abundance via chemicals. Abundance.
Oh, this is obviously Ohio chemicals, idiots. Are y'all dumb?
Chemicals. Now, on the other flip, within the river.
On the other flip within the river.
On the other flip.
There it is. And it is in there with those zombies. You see that, the outline of that rabbit?
The other flip, within the river. 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 Within the river.
Abundance of chemicals within the river.
Dog sits.
The good dog will sit. That's what they ended with. The good dog will sit. Yeah, there's 3 of them in there, and one of them's basically holding the fucking the rabbit. I see it, though, when I zoomed in with that scope. You can definitely see it outlined. Wherever it went. Well, maybe I don't see it, but I saw it just saying go. I showed it to you guys, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's hiding behind the AC unit. I don't know why it wouldn't be outlined now. So they're sharing more of his work, of course, and his just ramblings. That's all they are. Then we get some people going back through. That is not Phil. Yes, it is. I was in there. I'm the one who recorded it. We got another recording. It's the same. Then they started sharing a bunch of Brad Barton shit because Phil wasn't going live. But his post, his own post, let me go there. He had his private group tore up for sure. His own let's read that. His own poster kind of weird about not going live last night. Just a second, I'm gonna look him up. He shares a post that says breaking Biden administration pushing for freeze on U.S. bank withdrawals amid the decline in M2 money supply. This is from somebody named AKA, and this is from the source is Cleansor, CLENSOR.wordpress.com. Now, I've told you this before. Why is it incredibly important if the link has .wordpress in it? So the link is cleansor.wordpress.com. It's so important because this person that wrote this story is such a fucking nobody that they couldn't pay $9.99 for the website to fucking make it their own. This is a personal blog. When .wordpress.com is in a website, that is a personal blog that you cannot use for commercial reasons. And it is made to where it's the reason it's done like that is so you don't have to pay for it. Right? It's literally a personal blog. And then you don't have to pay if you have .wordpress. I mean, my website's built on WordPress. I'm not knocking WordPress. But if you don't pay for it, then that's what you end up getting, which is you get a free site, but it has WordPress in it. Never share or never trust a news website that has .wordpress in the title, okay? I'm just being honest with you. Like, if they can't afford to pay $9.99 or whatever the payment is to own their own website, they probably don't fucking deserve that website or have any legitimate reason to be telling you the news. If I just had to guess, they probably have zero legitimate reason to be even sharing the news with you. It's not like they got a source. It's not like they're actual journalists or whatever. It's somebody's blog, right? And that's cool. Everybody can have a blog, but do you trust the blog on fucking banking advice? That's crazy. Holy shit. That one scared the hell out of me. It shot out back somewhere. I didn't see it. Let's read the rest of his chat. I'm trying not to get too lost in the game. I know people don't like gaming, or some people don't like gaming, but I do want to talk about this. So this is what he started talking about with his channel. So he was supposed to do a live before. Also, it's been a while since Phil was supposed to get... remember he was supposed to give away a bunch of silver coins? That never happened. So he's been canceling his show as normal. I want to explain something to you guys. And I don't think most people... I know a lot of people don't know this. So this is why I want to explain it. What... Hold on. So we all know charges. We all know how we all know how charges work, right? There's a requirement to meet charges to even be charged, much less in like in charged, investigated, convicted, whatever. There's a requirement to get through those steps. There's a requirement to be charged with treason. I know treason gets thrown around. The word treason gets thrown around all the time. Treason, treason, treason. There's a requirement for treason. I don't think people understand. Like the other day, the reason that got me thinking about this, the other day I went into a chat and they're like, round them all up, charge them all with treason. Actually, someone left a Rumble comment on my video and said that I was a traitor to the country. I guess they don't know I served the country. They probably didn't. But they said that I was a traitor to the country and that I would be rounded up. I was a leftist sympathizer and probably Antifa, and I would be charged with treason. I should be charged with treason. But I've seen other chats say, round them all up, charge them with treason. This is treason, that's treason. Even Jeff B said he was going to call out, if this didn't come to fruition, he was going to call out Trump, Mike Flynn, Steve Bannon, and the boys, whatever their band name is. He was going to call them out for treason, right? But there's a requirement to meet treason. There's a requirement to meet treason. And if you don't know that requirement, then you're kind of working yourself around in circles. So let's read here about treason. What is treason? Treason is a crime of attacking a state authority to which one owes allegiance. Typically includes acts such as participating in war against one's native country, attempting to overthrow its government, spying on its military, its diplomats, or its secret services for a hostile or foreign power, or attempting to kill its head of state. A person who commits treason is known in law as a traitor. So treason and traitor, like someone who commits robbery is a robber. Someone who commits murder is a murderer. Treason makes a traitor. Historically, in common law countries, treason also covered the murder of specific social superiors, such as the murder of a husband by his wife, of a mistress by his servant. Treason, i.e. disloyalty against one's monarch, was known as high treason, and treason against the lesser superior was petty treason. As jurisdictions around the world abolished petty treason, treason came to refer to what is extraordinarily known as high treason. At times, the word traitor has been used as a political epithet. Regardless of any verifiable treasonable action in a civil war or insurrection, the winners may deem the losers to be traitors. Likewise, the term traitor is used in a heated political discussion, typically as a slur against political dissidents or against officials in power who are perceived as failing to act in the best interest of their constituents. In certain cases, as with the stab in the back myth, the accusation of treason towards a large group of people can be a unifying political message. So in the United States, when we're talking about treason, let me go down to U.S. law. The offense of treason exists both at a federal and state level. The federal crime is defined in the Constitution as either levying war against the United States, or adhering to its enemies, and it carries a sentence of death and imprisonment as a fine. In the 1790s, opposition political parties were new and not fully accepted. Government leaders often considered their opponents to be traitors. Historian Ron Chernow reports that the Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, and President George Washington regarded much of the criticism fired at their administration as disloyal, even treasonous in nature. When the undeclared quasi-war broke out with France in 1797 and 98, Hamilton increasingly mistook dissent for treason and engaged in hyperbole. Furthermore, the Jefferson Opposition Party behaved the same way. After 1801, with the peaceful transition from the political party in power, the rhetoric of treason against political opponents diminished. Federal. To avoid abuses of the English law, the scope of treason was specifically restricted to the United States Constitution. Article 3, Section 3 reads as follows. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them, or adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act, or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have the power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted. The Constitution does not itself create the offense. It only restricts the definition in the first paragraph, permits the United States Congress to create the offense, and restricts any punishment for treason to only the convicted, the second paragraph. The crime is punishable by legislation passed by Congress. Therefore, the United States Code 18 U.S.C. 2381 states, whoever, owing allegiance to the United States, levies war against them, or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States and elsewhere, is guilty of treason, and shall suffer death, or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years, and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000, and shall be incapable of holding any office in the United States. The requirement of testimony of two witnesses was inherited from the British Treason Act of 1695. However, Congress has passed laws creating related offenses that punish conduct that undermines the government or the national security, such as sedition in 1798, Alien and Sedition Acts, or espionage and sedition in the Espionage Act of 1917, which do not require the testimony of two witnesses and have a much broader definition than Article 3, treason. Some of these laws are still in effect. The well-known spies Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were charged with conspiracy to commit espionage rather than treason. You're going to be very hard to stick a treason charge to about anybody. You're going to be very, very, very hard to stick a treason charge to anybody, okay? Incredibly hard. It's literally only ever been used when we're at war. It's literally only ever been used when we're at war. Or, like during Reconstruction when the South would like try to rise up, blah, blah, blah. The Civil War, obviously. It was brought up during World War II. It was used in the Cold War sometimes because we were technically at war with Russia. It was used during Vietnam. I think Vietnam's probably the last historical use they've had of treason. It's not that often. You can't just say somebody's treasonous because they're a Democrat. Like, that's not how it works. But they keep yelling for it, don't they? The most famous treason trial, that of Aaron Burr in 1807, resulted in an acquittal. In 1807, on a charge of treason, Burr was brought before the trial of the United States Circuit Court at Richmond, Virginia. The only physical evidence presented to the grand jury was General James Wilkinson's so-called letter from Burr, which proposed the idea of stealing land in the Louisiana Purchase. The trial was presided over by Chief Justice of the United States, John Marshall, acting as a circuit judge. Since no witnesses testified, Burr was acquitted in spite of full force of Jefferson's political influence thrown against him. Immediately afterward, Burr was tried on a misdemeanor charge that was again acquitted. But then it says Civil War era, Reconstruction era, World War II era, Cold War and after. The Cold War saw frequent talk, liking, blah, 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 to talk linking treason with support for communism-led causes. The most memorable of these come from Senator Joseph McCarthy, who used rhetoric about the Democrats as guilty of 20 years of treason, a chosen chair of the Senate Permanent Investigation Subcommittee. McCarthy also investigated various groups, various government agencies for Soviet spy rings. However, he acted as a political fact finder rather than a criminal prosecutor. The Cold War period saw no prosecutions for explicit treason, but there were convictions and even executions for conspiracy to commit espionage on behalf of the Soviet Union, such as Julius and Ethel Rosenberg case. On October 11, 2006, the United States government charged Adam Gadon for videos in which he appeared as a spokesman for Al-Qaeda and threatened attacks on American soil. He was killed on January 19, 2015 in an unmanned aircraft drone strike in Waziristan, Pakistan. Most states have treason provisions in their constitution, similar to the U.S. Constitution. The extradition clause specifically denies treason as an extraditable offense. Thomas Jefferson in 1791 said that any Virginia official who cooperated with the Federal Bank of the United States, proposed by Alexander Hamilton, was guilty of treason against the state of Virginia and should be executed. The bank opened and no one was prosecuted. Several persons have been prosecuted for treason in on the state level. Thomas Dorr was convicted for treason against the state of Rhode Island for his part in the Dorr Rebellion, but eventually granted amnesty. John Brown was convicted of treason against the Commonwealth of Virginia for his part in the raid on Harper's Ferry and was hanged. The Mormon prophet Joseph Smith was charged with treason against Missouri, along with 5 others at first in front of the state military court, but Smith was allowed to escape to Illinois after his case was transferred to a civilian court for trial on charges of treason and other crimes. Smith was then later imprisoned for trial on charges of treason against Illinois, but was murdered by a lynch mob while in jail waiting the trial. And then we jump all the way to Vietnam. The Constitution of Vietnam. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. It's not even our Vietnam. It's Vietnam's treason is what they're showing here. Like, I don't think we can just keep yelling treason, 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 treason. I think it kind of gets carried away. You're going to have to come up with better charge than just treason. I'm definitely not going down for treason, but I mean, I don't know. That's what they like to yell all the time. That's what they like to use is the word treason. Sedition, yeah, conspiracy to overthrow the government, sedition, yeah, so shit like that. Like, those are much more likely to be prosecuted than treason is very fucking hard to get. Like, I don't know why people throw it around so easily, but it's very hard to get. So, we don't know what Phil meant. We don't know what he was doing with his thing. We don't know what he was posting about. I was going to look something else up, but I forgot about it. But that's what it was. Phil puts treason here. Treason. He spells it out like one letter on each line and spells treason. Then that's the post I want to start with. Then he said, laugh out loud, just read Chip's summary. What an absolute idiot. So I have not looked at Chip's summary. Should I? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Search by members. What did he summarize most recently? Yeah, they think. Well, they honestly think it, dude. They think it's like one of the hardest hitting things they've ever done. I've temporarily shut down. Okay. This was at 2:03 today. This would have to have been yesterday at least. So let me go back to Wednesday. Very informed at the time. Sorry. I'm trying to find whatever summary he had and why Phil felt like he was going to come. Remember how many times has Phil said, I'm never addressing Chip again? How many times has that been? I don't think he can stop. My comment on this poll, how can anyone believe Trump is commander-in-chief? This sadly tells me everything. He asked people if Trump was commander-in-chief. Is Trump CIC? My comment on this poll, how can anyone believe Trump is commander-in-chief? This sadly tells me everything with all the death and carnage from the loss of business, the suicide, the family breakups, the fake Biden administration election, child trafficking, the collapse of the economy, a feckless military, world chaos, a corrupt Congress and judicial system, and that nothing had been done about any of it. How can this be? If he were CEO of a corporation, he would have been fired. And your response? It had to be this way. We have to wake up the normies. The timing is not just right yet. It all has to be done legally. That is absurd and complete nonsense. What is it going to take to wake you up? I guess when they come to your front door to take you to one of those freedom cities.
So he didn't exactly miss the mark. He didn't hit it either.
The Durham report kind of was a big I mean, like, it does show that, like, some mistakes are made on the FBI's part. The recommendation was they should have started a preliminary investigation instead of a full investigation, which a preliminary would have time limits on how long they have to make it to a full investigation. But yeah, he even Durham himself recommends no arrest or no new charges. Like, they said it was going to bring down the fucking house. People are going to be arrested, and you can't wait. They're getting a little fish to catch a big fish, and that's what those sealed indictments are for, and blah 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 blah. Blah. Nothing. He got one conviction. He took 2 people to court. He got 1 conviction for a lawyer that changed a email and forwarded it, and then he got an acquittal for the other lawyer that went to the FBI. Okay. Here are some of my posts. Here are some posts and my response. Okay, let's see what this says. Shelley, you are not understanding the theological implications of what I'm saying. First, God is not using an unregenerate man to eradicate evil in this world to bring about some utopia. It is all concerned with the wrong kingdom. This is Satan's domain until Christ returns. MAGA is not going to fix anything spiritually. This world is under judgment. Whatever beneficial occurrences come about, they will be temporary. Sin remains. Second, is it true that it is true that God uses imperfect man to accomplish his purposes, but all men are imperfect. The men in the scriptures that God called to fulfill his will were certainly sinners, yet saved by grace, a man of faith like Noah and Moses. They were moving God's truth and redemptive history forward. The men that God used, such as the Assyrians and the Babylonians, to fulfill his will were not men of faith. Were not men of faith. He is sovereign over them all. So, to think that MAGA is of God in a redemptive sense is not biblical. God is concerned only with his church, his bride, the elect. People are falsely associating MAGA with God's will in a redemptive sense. Yeah, that's true. Thinking Trump is God's David. Yeah, they literally say that. This nation or the world is not what God is redeeming. The truth of the matter is that Satan is deceiving.
Gifted Spindlemere a subscription.
Oh, thank you for the gifted sub.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Spindlemere.
Thank you very much. The truth of the matter is that Satan is deceiving many in this entire escapade. They are deceived because they are blinded by their sin. God is blinding the eyes of the ungodly natural men cannot discern the things of the Spirit. MAGA has nothing to do with the gospel of the Christ kingdom. It is of the world and under judgment. We were warned not to love or have anything to do with the wicked ways of this evil world. That is a friend of the world is at enmity with God. The Christian is in the world, but not of it. Our home is not here. And then he quotes some scripture. We are to keep an eternal perspective. We are simply passing through. Sadly, most are clinging on to hope of this world. They will not find it. The main reason for giving hope in this world is because they say that they are concerned about the kind of world that their children and grandchildren will live in. Again, that is the wrong focus. It matters not what kind of world it is, good or bad. It is passing away. The world parents should be more concerned about that their children are raised in the admonishment of the Lord and able to understand that the world from a biblical worldview, equipped with them with the gospel. Nothing else matters. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world yet lose his soul? Think hard on these things, Chip. That was one. And Shelly's hitting back at him. So the reason he responded is Shelly said, so Chip, Could you please explain how you know God is not using imperfect people? So sad. You remind me of those that mocked Noah. What is wrong with you people? My God. My God has used imperfect people from the beginning of time. Maybe you people follow a different God. Sad. That was the Shelley post I was reading. Shelley, you're not understanding the theological implications of what I'm saying. I just wanted the regular summary that whatever Phil read. He says, do you think it will be rude when you find out you have been played? Do you just want soft talk, more hopium? People are terrified of the truth. They are hiding in a false dream. He must have come out hard against Phil because he's getting a lot of hit back here. Sorry, I'm just skipping through his old posts and seeing if I can find this summary. I'm all the way back to Monday and I haven't seen it yet. I figured it would be like one of the big ones, so it's like fucking, you know, like 4 or 5 paragraphs, but it doesn't look like it. Oh well, maybe I'm not gonna see it. It was just a couple of responses to that Shelley lady, but that was it. I wanted to see what got him saying, like, oh, why can't he use an imperfect person? It sounds to me like he called Phil out as imperfect. Or not being the best. Never the color version as to what happens. Now recognize, however, the celebration of my freedom and deliverance, I feel ready to share. This is me in November 2018, headed to an occult-themed costume party on All Saints Day. The party was held in an old church. This has got to be a forward, right? Yeah, a testimony from Amanda Teresa. Okay, that's not it. Please understand what not using cash is doing. Cash is important. Why should we pay cash everywhere we can with banknotes instead of a credit card? I have $50 banknote in my pocket going to the restaurant and paying for dinner. With it, the restaurant owner then uses the bill to pay for the laundry. The laundry owner then uses the bill to pay for the barber. The barber then uses the bill to pay for shopping. After an unlimited number of payments, it will still remain at $50, which has fulfilled its purpose to everyone who used it for payment, and the bank has jumped dry from every cash payment transaction made. But if I come to a restaurant and pay digitally, card and bank fees for my payment transaction charge the seller 3%, $1.50, and so will the $1.50 for each further payment transaction, blah, blah. Therefore, after 30 transactions, the initial 50 will remain only $5, and the remaining 45 became the property of the bank. Thanks all the digital transactions, small businesses, blah, blah. Okay. I thought that might be it. Phil might have hit back about a finance post, but I don't see anything. Let's go back to Phil. Fuck it. So Phil says, I just read Chip's summary, quote, Chip's summary, what an absolute idiot. And that was posted yesterday, 2 days ago, the 16th. But I didn't see it. He shares a post from Wall Street. He shares Kramer calls Wells Fargo the best capitalized bank following a $1 billion settlement. He shares a comics post. He shares a picture of Mike Flynn that says, is it that highly sought after issue 7? Is it that highly sought after issue 7 I see? Oh, that's okay. So it's got Trump on it. Like what? So Flynn's holding a George magazine with Gene Ho and I guess his wife, and he's holding it up for this picture they're taking, like a photo opportunity. And Phil's like, oh my God, is that the highly sought after issue 7 I see? Phil's in it, but he couldn't even get the fucking cover. Then he shares a post from Wall Street Silver. He starts talking about the Treasury, blah, blah, blah. And here he goes. He says, I just got word that my live will be moved to prime time tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So he doesn't say, I'm moving my live. He doesn't say, I have to move my live. He said, I just got word that my live will be moved. Who's moving his live if it's not him? Who could be moving his live? What's he trying to insinuate? We know it's a lie, but what's he trying to insinuate? I guess is the question. Which is very interesting. Damn it, I think it's in there. But yeah, what would he be trying to insinuate if that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is he saying?
Ghosting out.
You're making me chase you. I can do this forever.
Damn it, I was trying to change weapons. So who's he insinuating did it? I should have got them all on me at one time. Who's he insinuating changed this for him? Who's he insinuating made this happen? What is he trying to say it's going on? So then he follows that up with, hey guys, I was just given. So he said someone else basically changed it, right? Someone else has changed his appearance. He was told that's a no-go, no more. We're done. Then he goes further to say that it says, well, guys, I was just given the no-go for tonight's live. So it was moved from Manatee. It was moved from Manatee to primetime, whatever the fuck that means. And then it was moved again for, that's the weapon I was trying to get up. And then it was moved again after that to no show at all now. Done. It's over. We're not having a show, right? Which seems very strange. Who is canceling Phil's shows? And why is it not Phil? Wouldn't you think Phil would be canceling Phil's shows? Well, of course not. Why? Because he's got a handler, I suppose, or at least that's what he wants you to think. That's what he wants you to think, at least. Who knows? Let me kill this zombie and we'll get rid of that other post. I gotta kill her now. I don't even know where she went. Okay. Come back, idiot. Where the hell is she? I gotta get away from that dog to where I can even see her. So who could potentially be his handler, or who is handling his stuff? Like I don't understand what he's trying to say here. He's supposed to be the number one in charge of the 5, in charge of the 6, in charge of the whatever, in charge of Scavino, in charge of Hannity, in charge of whatever the fuck he's in charge of now. But then also at the same time, he can't even pick when his own live shows are on. Not the intel he's giving out. They canceled his whole show. They didn't tell him, hey, we don't want you to say this or we don't want you to say that. They canceled his whole show. Every bit of it. I can't see this bitch. Where is she? I just need a couple more hits on her, but I don't know where she's at. Ah, shit. I didn't reload. That should have been it. All right. So he says, not due to anything personal. So it's not a personal reason he can't do this, right? Not due to anything personal. I was literally told I cannot speak about anything tonight. Not I cannot speak about the topic I wanted to speak to. Not I cannot speak about this. Not I cannot speak about anything. I cannot speak about anything. What's the likelihood that Q himself, the guy who invented QAnon, Q himself, best friend of Ezra Cohen Watnick, is not allowed to speak at all? Then what's the likelihood he takes the message, you're not allowed to speak at all? And clearly it's some type of serious message that has a serious impact on the content he creates, obviously. So take those two things into account. But he still says, fuck you. Either way, he still says, fuck you, and does it anyways. And does a fucking weird, hidden fucking, well, you just heard it. Whatever you want to call that message he just did, right? A pre-recorded bunch of fucking words that don't make any goddamn sense. So he was told no. He was literally told, no, you cannot do a show. And he said, I can't do it. I have to cancel. Sorry about that, guys. I wish I could do it, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then he still does it anyways. Because he says in his show, he said, I told you everything that I was going to tell you tonight. That's all done. Everything's here. But you were told specifically by someone who controls your show that you can't. And then also you can. I don't understand what's going on. So you can't and you can at the same time. Is that what's going on? What happened here? Who could control his show and say you can't do it, but also let him put out some weird fucking cryptic message that doesn't make any goddamn sense? And he claims that all the information you need is in there. Every bit of it. Every bit of information you need is in there. Don't worry about it. How does that work? Anybody know? Anybody have any fucking idea? Me neither. Oh, you can do a show, but you can't do a show unless you do the show very cryptically. But you can't say anything unless you make it all up. Then you can say everything. Got it. Makes perfect sense now. Makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't it? Fucking goddamn. Guys, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how he can have it every fucking way. Right? How can you have it every way? Damage is 1141, 75778. 757. So this one takes longer. This one's more powerful. I'm gonna put that one on there. And a faster reload. 10% increased reload speed. I'm gonna grab that one. So he goes on to say, I even asked, okay? Now this is before he made the weird cryptic thing, okay? This is before he made the weird cryptic post or the audio recording. He asked for permission. He asked. I even asked if I could do a simple Q&A, and the answer was no. So they told him, you're not even allowed to do a Q&A. But somehow he was allowed to put out this weird fucking message about all the shit you just heard him say, all that wild shit you just heard him say. About the apple eats the barn before the dirty worm, and some, I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but you guys heard it, right? So you asked if you could do a Q&A, and they said, hell no, you can't do a Q&A. But you said, screw it anyways. I'm doing a Q&A. Y'all can suck one. And then we did this, right? You did this weird fucking recording, correct? Or at least that's what he's claiming, right? Does that not make sense? Or does that make any fucking sense? It doesn't make sense to me. You can't have both. You can't have your guy called you off and said you can't do anything, not even a Q&A. But also, you can do this weird cryptic bullshit. The fuck is that? He did it from jail, you think? I asked if I could do a simple Q&A. The answer is no. I could, of course, disobey direct orders. Phil's never received an order in his life. Phil's never received a fucking direct or indirect order in his fucking life. But I really think that's a bad idea, especially considering where we are right now. I have so much to report that I literally had to start writing all of it down. I haven't done that in over a year. So basically, for the last year, your shows have sucked, and I'm finally going to give you a good one, if you didn't know. You're finally going to get a good show instead of the shitty things I've been doing for the last year that didn't make any sense to anybody. Now you can have a good show.
Make yourself useful.
Sound like somebody heard me. He goes on to say, I have so much to report that I literally had to start writing it down. I haven't done that in over a year. I will get this live scheduled as soon as I get the quote all clear.
Cloaks up. This place ain't killed me yet.
What did I say?
The fuck is a blood bag? I just killed one. Now the other two are coming. Fuck.
Ghosting out.
Anyways, I've never even seen those before. I will get this live scheduled as soon as I get the all clear. I apologize for this. I think this should show you how serious things are starting to get. So again, it's this type of weird cryptic hack. I don't even know what the fuck to say about it. This should teach you how serious everything is. Well, that's a lot easier than I thought. Why were the only easy zombies here? That was weird. Or vampires. Huh. Anyways, I guess I'm here. I got it, guys. In case you're worried about me. I think I had the wrong house the whole fucking time. This is even a different house than I was going to run into earlier. So, whatever. As soon as I get the all clear, I think this should show you how serious things are starting to get. This has been my second do not go live in the past 2 months. So he's now claiming that this is the second time on the memorial of the fire station deliver the eulogy. I think both those things are at the fire station. This is the second time. So he's claiming now this is the second time that this stuff has happened to him. And that that should show you how serious things are. So I don't fucking know. I'm not saying he's never going to be back for a show. I don't think I'm of the personal opinion that I don't think he can fucking quit. But maybe that's just me. I don't think he can fucking stop. He's never been able to before. Oh, is it outside? Yes. He's never been able to quit before, or upstairs one. Yeah, it might be upstairs. He's never been able to quit before. I don't know why he would start now. It seems pretty strange, but there we go. I'm sure he's going to be back basically immediately. But it was weird. I don't know if it was just so he closed his chat super early because he kept canceling, right? So is this just to get his followers off his back? Because his followers get really upset. His followers get really upset when he doesn't do when he doesn't do what he's supposed to. Hopefully his next live will be from his JPay account. You have to get some stamps from my JPay so I can call you guys back.
Where you are now. But I hope it's somewhere you feel safe. Safe. And loved.
I had to deliver a eulogy there. That was weird. So all three of those vampires are blood bags. I could just hit them once. I had no idea.
Failed that little girl. Everyone in this town did. Her death will always be a tragedy.
Maybe he doesn't realize he can be extradited from USV. Oh no.
A lot of mourning when this is all.
USVI, U.S. Virgin Islands.
I'll start.
He told me he told everybody, I guess. He told us that he's just planning on doing the damn. That he's just planning on fucking renting that place out. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna rent that out. Like, I'm not even gonna stay in it. That's so weird. It's so fucking strange. Like, I mean, I guess that's you could make money that way. I don't know. It seems like vacation rentals like that would be incredibly hard maybe to do. It seems like they would be pretty. I don't know. Like, they would be a lot of partiers there and shit. Like, you'd have to have insane rules. You'd have to have, a cleaning staff, and who knows how much that is, a cleaning fee, lawsuits, potentially somebody fell off the cliff or drowned in your pool, or I don't know. Seems like a lot of headache. But I'm sure they make management companies for it, too. Thank you for the whiskey. It's a welcome comfort in such trying times. I look forward to raising a glass with you when the present darkness has passed. Reproducing ham radio Hollow Man for Joe. Step 1, turn on radio. Step 2, scan to 88.3. Might work with another channels too. Step 3, hear mostly static. Step 4, wait 3 or 4 minutes. Step 5, hear a man's voice. Step 6, listen. Step 7, he clearly says Hollow Man. Weird. Oh, they're decoding something here. Morse code. Okay, they're using Morse code. Like, obviously, I don't know. It seems like a big headache to wrap everything up in a rental home or spend that money on something like a rental home, that amount of money. But I guess it's better than holding it liquid right now, or at least he says it is. So we'll see. So that's the 2 posts we get. And then we start today's posts. We are on May 18th. And we start with CDC, blah, 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 from Becker News. Hold on, let me even check if this is true. U.S. calls for pause. That's been lifted, though. That was 2021. 2021. When is this post he's sharing from? Hold on just a second. May 17, 2023. Oh, no longer available. Yeah. It sets it up so different. It says CDC. So this sets it up so differently. It's from Becker News, which I know is a super biased website. It says CDC halts administration of the J&J COVID vaccines in the United States, orders remaining doses to be destroyed. Well, that's not exactly, I mean, that's technically true, but that's not exactly true. What actually happened is the CDC said that, okay, Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines are no longer available in the U.S. All the remaining doses were all made at once. They were all made in a lump sum. Well, they were made in a couple production runs, but the last one were made in a big production run. They're all expired now. So because they're expired, obviously you're not going to use expired vaccines. But the CDC or the J&J are expired vaccines. They're not doing nearly the production they were doing before, and Johnson & Johnson is not producing any anymore. So it says it's no longer available in the United States. All remaining doses expired last week. CDC has directed healthcare providers to dispose of remaining doses they had. It makes it sound like they did it for some other reason, but it was just the doses are expired. And the CDC announced, hey, we never made any more Johnson & Johnson, so they're all expired. There isn't any left. He shares a tweet himself. This isn't even a forward. It says, breaking, Biden administration pushing for a furies of U.S. bank withdrawals amid the M2 money supply. And it's from cleanser.wordpress.com. And let's check that up. Check that out. Biden administration pushing for the freeze of U.S. bank withdrawals. Okay, I see it shared on Twitter. I see it shared on investmentwatchblog.com. That sounds like an awesome one. And it's being relayed from... It's being cited from cleanser.wordpress.com and from a Twitter account, an unknown Twitter account. Somebody named Crypto Gazette is writing about it. They're trying to incite a run on the banks. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to incite a run on the banks. So anything that's negative bank and pro Phil or silver or destruction of America, they're sharing the shit out of it. It's getting crazy. Crazy, I tell you. And that was the last post he shared. But he shares that with, again, inciting a fucking riot, trying to incite a run on the bank. He says, I wasn't joking about run them. Again, talking about running the banks, which advising or causing or telling people to make a run on the bank is illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal. I slept from about 5 a.m. to about 10 a.m. I slept for about 5 hours last night. His live still isn't live. He pulled it back from repossession, but it's just his stupid face. So it was, even though after it was listed as repossession, he got it actually back, like really back. The problem is after he did that, it was he had some type of issue with it. And now it's down for maintenance. I heard that there was some issues with some people were being charged, some people weren't, something like that. Some people were being double charged, so it's down for maintenance.
Foster mom kept something like 10 of us in an old single wide. More kids, bigger the government check. Stood me up with my nose jammed in a corner all day. Caught licks for trying to sit when my knees gave out.
The hell?
Do right to save my life.
You talking about his life?
I come back there. Trapped. Trying to disappear. Just breathe, Jacob. Can't
Yeah.
for shit on tilt. When I look at that butterfly, my chest gets tight. I can feel how scared she was. I can see Ash.
So that's the guy that's actually the Hollow Man or whatever. Yeah, so it's supposed to be down for updates. It is just a picture of his face. But I think it did work. Like, he lost it, right? It was down, and it said it was up for repossession by GoDaddy. But it was up after that. But I heard there's something going on with the charging. I don't know.
Time to burn wind.
Some people aren't getting charged. Some people are getting charged double. I don't know. It's all rumors, right? I don't know what's going on with the charging, to be honest with you. But it don't seem great. It's technically not running. I'm sure Edward Snowden, he probably builds the website himself, if I had to guess. What do you think? What do you think? He builds all his website himself? You could catch a good nap. You're gonna wish you had. No, I'm sure he contracts it out by somewhere. A lot of times you can see it at the bottom of the website. It'll be listed. It'll say something like this website built by, hosted by, whatever. But yeah, it's done. I don't know that I would try to. It sounds kind of crazy to me to even try to send Phil money, I guess. Like, to even send Phil money. Like, I don't know. I'd probably stay the fuck away from that if I had to guess. If I had to. Pretty wild to me. I don't know that I would try, especially after the last fiasco with his website. I don't know that I would ever trust his website again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems crazy to trust that website. But maybe that's just me, I guess. Maybe that's just me. I don't fucking know. Who does? Who does know? What's this do for damage? 192. What's this one do for damage? 11. Damage is 1141. No, perfectly normal. Damage is 1,075. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 66. 141. I don't know why I'm reading that over there. Oh, it's per round, I guess, right? 192. I'm trying to see if I can run this pistol some. I guess I could. It doesn't have a spear. It doesn't have a. It doesn't have a stabber thing, a bayonet on it. So a stake, I guess. They're not bayonets, but it doesn't have a stake on it. So I gotta be careful with that. I can't stake zombies, but it does look like it does a lot of fucking damage. I really need that sniper rifle. Yeah, so it's technically illegal to cause a run on the bank. I don't know if Phil cares or is interested or gives a fuck or whatever, but it's technically illegal. Which one of these does more damage? The 327, I believe. 107, 327 is still the highest. There it is. Is it a bold action? Rate of fire 0.53. Rate of fire 0.33. 2.73. Yeah. Semi-automatic. Okay, it's a bold action is the difference. This one's semi-automatic. It fires quicker and holds more. That's a big damage difference. That's 50 points of damage, but I really need a sniper rifle, not a damn pistol, I guess. I just haven't ran that pistol. I thought it'd be cool to run it, but fuck it. So that's Phil. I guess we don't know if he's coming back or if he's not. What time is it? About 11:45. Do you guys know what so there's something going on, like a rumor. I asked you about this the other day. Do you guys know what Clower and Piven is? Like the Clower and Piven theory? The Clower and Piven, I don't know. I guess you call it a theory. You call it a method. The Clower and Piven method. I got to take down 3 zombie nests or some shit. And that's where the Hollow Man is. But I have to have 3 skulls before I go there. The Clower and Piven method, I guess, would be a good one. I'm going to go unlock that safe house, I think. The Clower and Piven method. So basically what it is like, it was actually used back in the day by some Democrats. So this is trending on TikTok right now because we're not going to say anything negative on Twitch about this. We're going to say anything negative on Twitch about this, but there is a lot of people that are upset about the current immigration situation and what's going on with it. And maybe you don't like that. That's fine. That's cool. We're not going to say anything that would get us fucked up on Twitch, right? But if you've seen any of the videos, from there, it would seem as if some of these immigrants are getting as soon as they arrive, they're getting cell phones. They're getting certain applications to stuff. They are getting set up for kind of the welfare system, if you will, I guess, or like a system to get some welfare system, right? Oh my God, they're everywhere. Oh, this one's finally silenced. That one's dead. So the Clower and Piven method is to basically, the way it was used was to overflow the welfare state, right? And by overflowing the welfare state, cause it to collapse and then cause some type of other system to take its place, whether it's like democratic socialism or whatever. And it was suggested back in the I think it was the 60s or 70s. So basically what they wanted to do is just tell people, make sure people were more well-informed about the welfare system and how it worked. And with that, they would be able to use it to their advantage and more people would use it. And it would overflow the welfare system. And if it overflows the welfare system and causes it to collapse, they could bring in some type of universal basic income. And that would so the whole method, or I guess the core idea behind the method is if you want change and change can't be voted for, right? You can't get people to vote for the change that you want. Let's say you can't get people to vote for universal basic income, universal health care, stuff like that. That another method to get that is to overflow the system, and that system will collapse, and it'll have to be replaced by another system. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what the Clower and Piven, I can read it, but I think I did a good job. Let's see. The Clower and Piven method. A lot of this is trending right now on social media. I'm not saying it's going on. I'm not saying I'm going to let people be fucking assholes in my Twitch chat. I'll just delete your shit. But I think they were married. They were sociologists or something. Clower and Piven method. Sorry, I can't even spell tonight.
Strategy.
Clower and Piven were both professors at Columbia University of Social Work. The strategy was outlined in May of 1966 in an article in the liberal magazine The Nation, entitled The Weight of the Poor, A Strategy to End Poverty. The two stated that many Americans who were eligible for welfare were not receiving their benefits, and that a welfare enrollment drive should strain local budgets, precipitating a crisis at the state and local levels that would be a wake-up call for the federal government, particularly the Democratic Party. There would also be side consequences of this strategy, according to Clower and Piven. These would include easing the plight of the poor in the short term through their participation in the welfare system, shoring up support for the National Democratic Party, then splintered by pluralistic interests, through its cultivation of poor and minority constituents by implementing a national solution to poverty, and relieving local governments of the financially and politically onerous burdens of public welfare through a national solution to poverty. Clower and Piven's article focused on forcing the Democratic Party, which in 1966 controlled the presidency and both houses of the United States Congress, to take federal action to help the poor. They stated that full enrollment of those eligible for welfare would produce bureaucratic disruption in welfare agencies and fiscal disruption in local and state governments that would deepen existing divisions among elements in big city Democratic coalitions, the remaining white middle class, the working class, ethnic groups, and the growing minority poor. To avoid the weakening of that historic coalition, a national Democratic administration would be constrained to advance a federal solution to poverty that would override local welfare failures, local class and racial conflicts, and local revenue dilemmas.
They further wrote, the ultimate objective of this strategy is to wipe out poverty by establishing a guaranteed annual income.
Will be questioned by some because the ideal of the individual social and economic mobility has deep roots. Even activists seem reluctant to call for national programs to eliminate poverty by outright redistribution of income. Michael Reish and Janice Andrews wrote that Clower and Piven proposed to create a crisis in the current welfare system by exploiting the gap between welfare law and practice that would ultimately bring about its collapse and replace it with a system of guaranteed annual income. They hope to accomplish this by informing the poor of their rights to welfare assistance, encouraging them to apply for benefits, and in effect, overloading an already overburdened bureaucracy.
So that is what's trending currently on Twitter, saying like, oh, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to overload the welfare system and blah, 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 and they're trying to go here. I personally don't think so. Like, I don't think it's any nefarious. I mean, look, Title 42 had to end. It had to end at some point, right? Like, it was only there for COVID. How long can we keep pretending like fucking COVID's going on? It was only there for COVID. It had to end at some point. It ended. Were a lot of people ready and staged and ready to fucking come across? Yeah, for sure. But even Joe Biden implemented quite a few things. He's got him in some hot water, honestly, with his own following. He's got into some hot water with his own constituents and shit for what he implemented. For the fact that he did fucking he did implement a pretty fucking rigorous or a pretty hard to navigate system of you have to be set up for this appointment. It's hard to get this appointment.
There's not many slots available, blah, blah, blah. It's not like he just turned up. Like, everybody wants to make it so black and white. Like, Joe Biden just opened the borders. The borders are wide open. They're not. That's not what happened. If you want to talk about the nuance of it, that's fine. If you want to say he's a bad implementation of his plan, that's fine. But you can't just say the borders are wide open, Joe Biden did it, and he's letting everybody fucking cross. That's actually not happening. His own party has been kind of butthurt about they can't get appointments. You said they could get appointments. They can't get appointments. They're behind, blah, blah, blah. Only so many people got across. The rest of them were turned away. They had to apply ahead of time. Like, his own party's mad about it. So you know it's not as cut and dry as just the borders open, right? Or somebody else would be saying something, obviously. It's not that cut and dry. People want to reduce it to that because that's all. I have somebody arguing with me on Rumble right now. That's all their fucking tiny minds will fucking comprehend. But it's not that simple. So then I told them, I was like, well, you know, they're having to go through it's only for legal immigration, and then he didn't say, like, come on, the fucking illegals and asylum seekers. And the asylum seekers have to book an appointment, they have to get through that, and his own party's been, and then they started screaming that was a Trump era policy. Like, that's not a Trump era policy. Trump's policy was Title 42. It was a COVID era policy, and what it said was no one, including asylum seekers. What stood before was like, okay, you have to legally immigrate, or if you're here illegal and you qualify for asylum, you can process your asylum claim while you're here. That was the thing before. Everybody had to come legally. Illegal is still illegal. And this is before COVID or Trump or anybody. Anybody could come legally. There's steps to come here, right? Second, if you come here illegally, you'd be deported. Third, if you qualify for asylum, you can apply for it once you get here. Now, what Title 42 did, Title 42 said, no one's coming, even asylum seekers. It doesn't matter. You'll still be sent back home. So what Joe Biden did was say, okay, yes, we will take asylum seekers again, but before you get here, you have to go and qualify through this online blah, blah, blah. You have to go through this online course. You have to do this. You have to put it through. You have to qualify before you get here, or you're going to be sent home anyways. And his own party's mad about it. Well, they are getting overloaded, right? Yeah, but if you're the type of person who's angry about immigration, you want them to be overloaded. That means less people are getting processed. It's not like they're pushing their way through and just fucking people over. Like, if you are against the immigration, you want them to be overloaded because it's a list of people they're putting down for appointments. So the more overloaded they are, the better it is, the less immigration there'll be. That one's not yours. Like, you can't be like, hey, let's secure the borders and then also be upset they're overloaded. That's the process they have to go through. The one guy said that he went, he was using the app and there were some people that got through. I'm not saying there wasn't. There was a rush of people that got through between Title 42 ending and I think noon the next day when the Biden plan started. Those people got across and were issued court dates or whatever, and I think allowed to stay because there was no policy in place. There's no telling what that number is. It seems like everybody on the left wants to make that number gigantic as fuck, and as small as fuck, and then everybody on the right wants to make it gigantic, so it's kind of hard to tell what the number actually is. But there were people that rushed the border, and that was where a lot of the footage and stuff come from, or like the trash that was left behind, that type of stuff that everybody was showing, which you got to be careful when you look at those. When you look at someone sharing like a trail with like T-shirts and trash and clothes and all that shit on it, because a lot of that stuff are areas they've used across for years and years and years, and even before this one day happened, it was full of trash and fucking trash and clothes and all that shit, right? They use the same trails almost all the time. But Biden's current plan, his own party is not super happy about it, especially like people that are would you say more progressive than he is. Like there are people that are definitely more progressive than he is in his party, and they don't seem to be too stoked about it. Saying that it's an extension of a Trump, that all he did was make a Biden version of a Trump policy, and that it's bullshit and blah blah blah.
Dragging it out. Screw you.
You can't hurt me.
Damn.
But yeah, it's yeah, they just basically said like, oh, all you did was extend the Trump policy. You're a piece of shit, you know, like you were supposed to fix reform. So like if that's true, oh shit, I did it again. Damn it, I couldn't relive. Like they're literally just saying he extended Trump's policy, because the only difference is between Title 42 and what he got now is that you can apply ahead of time for the Biden policy, and the Trump policy you cannot. You couldn't get in for asylum at all. But there's not, how many people can be processed through these appointments when there's not many of them? Hold on. Biden, new border policy, Title 42. I know people get mad on me on Rumble all the time for even mentioning this. They'll be yelling and screaming that I'm blah, blah, blah or whatever. But here are the new Biden immigration policies to expect. Oh, no, expect. We don't need expect. We've already got some coming. Who the fuck? Who are you talking to? What day was this written on? That was on May the 9th. That's not it. Let's see.
Title 42 immigration, Title 42 migration restrictions have ended.
But Biden's new policy may be tougher, say some Democrats. As the Title 42 pandemic era rule ended at midnight on Thursday, Alejandros Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security and a former Cuban refugee, issued a stern warning to would-be migrants, saying, people who arrive at the border without using a lawful pathway will be presumed ineligible for asylum. In many ways, Mayorkas' statement directly contradicted some of the promises made by Joe Biden as a candidate during the 2020 presidential election. Then Biden had pledged to dismantle Donald Trump's hardline immigration agenda, calling the numerous restrictions his rival enacted to shut off access to the asylum cruel. After taking office, Biden reversed some of Trump's border policies, including a program that required asylum seekers to wait in dangerous Mexican border cities while their cases were being reviewed by U.S. courts. But for more than a year, Biden kept and defended in court Trump's most sweeping border restriction, Title 42 emergency order that allowed agents to cite the COVID-19 pandemic to quickly expel migrants without hearing asylum claims. He could have ended Title 42 much earlier. The Biden administration in 2022 tried to phase out Title 42. But was blocked by a lawsuit filed by Republicans in 19 states. By the time it ended, due to the expiration of COVID-19 public health emergency, Title 42 had been used to expel migrants over 2.7 million times from the U.S. southern border. That was the entire time. That was the entire time that it was enacted. The Biden administration but Biden is now replacing Title 42 with an arguably tougher, more restrictive policy, say some Democrats. His administration on Friday started implementing a rule barring migrants from asylum if they don't request refuge status in another country before entering the U.S. That's what they were screaming. That's Trump's plan. That's Trump's plan. Whatever. Advocates suggested that such a restriction mimics two Trump-era policies. known as entry and transit, asylum bans, which were consequently blocked by courts. As a result, the new restrictive border control has already been challenged by the American Civil Liberties Union and other immigrants' rights groups in federal court. This new rule is no less illegal or harmful. It would effectively eliminate asylum for nearly all non-Mexican asylum seekers who enter between designated ports of entry, and even for those who present at a port without first securing an appointment. So this is what the complaint filed by the American Civil Liberties Union says. This new rule is no less illegal or harmful. It will effectively eliminate asylum for nearly all non-Mexican asylum seekers who enter between designated ports of entry, and even those who present at a port without first securing an appointment. Thousands of migrants anticipated the end of the 42 and crossed the United States. Record numbers this week along the 2,000-mile border with Mexico. They gathered on the banks of the Rio Grande and gates near the border wall, waiting for their turn to be let into U.S. soil. Nestor Quintero, who crossed the U.S. border near El Paso, Texas, only to be expelled back to Tijuana, recently returned to Ciudad Juarez, scared that once Title 42 was lifted, his chance to give his daughters a better and safer life would be diminished. Unable to secure an appointment using the government cell phone app known as CBP1 app for over a month, the Venezuelan decided to surrender himself along with his family at Gate 47 at the border wall in El Paso last week. We were detained for 6 days, and then we were given documents by the immigration officials who left, said Quintero, 35, who left Venezuela after an opposition politician he had worked for disappeared. We have a court date in September of this year, but now we only worry about eating. We have no money and we are hungry. Biden's asylum restrictions announced the same day Quintero's family was released from Border Patrol custody could have led them to be deported, would have led to be them to be deported under the exact same circumstances and banned from entering the U.S. for 5 years. So if you're from another country, non-U.S., and you're trying to apply for asylum, which is the way most people like sneak in and say, "Oh, I need asylum because it's horrible where I'm from." You not only will, if you haven't done the appointment beforehand, you will be deported and banned for 5 years from reentering. If they attempted to re-enter the U.S., they would have faced criminal prosecution. One of the only ways to avoid deportation under the strict asylum rule is to secure an appointment to enter the U.S. through the government app. In its first 4 months, over 83,000 individuals have successfully scheduled an appointment through CBP1. A DHS official told The Guardian. Let's do this. Sorry, I'm trying to grab something real quick. So if you take 83,000 divided by 120 days and 4 months, it's about 700. It can schedule up to 700 appointments a day. That doesn't mean they'll all be approved, but it can schedule about 700 appointments a day. So if you look at U.S. immigration, there's about 2,200 people that arrive as immigrants or refugees every day. There's about 5,000 unauthorized people who make entries every day, and about 4,000 of them are apprehended just after they cross, but like around 1,000 of them get in without ever being spoke every day. Every day, about 1,000 people get in. So we're talking about 691 appointments a day that the app makes on average. Well, I think it'll go down because that was after Title 42 was lifted. There's a big rush to it, but there you go. The number of, because I saw somebody said it does 1,000 appointments a day. I don't think it's quite that high. The number of migrants stranded in Mexico could also increase further due to the new policies. Mexican government has agreed to continue accepting tens of thousands of Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan deportees from the United States. Shelter directors in Mexico told The Guardian they are at capacity. This agreement means that more than 360,000 people could come to a country that doesn't have a federal or state system to help everyone.
Had Rafael Vasquez, the country director from Mexico at the International Refugee Committee.
In its effort to dissuade migrants from traveling north, the Biden administration also partnered with the Colombian and Panamanian governments to create regional processing centers to screen migrants who could be eligible to enter the U.S. legally. The White House is also allowing up to 33 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela to fly to the U.S. As long as they have American financial supporters and can prove that. $480 sounds like a lot. I can understand the premium as you're no longer alone, and that's $280 now. Well, I don't think to me the number doesn't really matter as much as if they're going through the appointment, being screened, giving credentials, and they're not a fucking, they're not a terrorist, they're not wanted for murder, they're not like they have to have like means of support. They have to have a contact person. They have to have, an actual reason for fleeing. Like they're asylum seekers. They have to have a reason for asylum. They have to be shown from that country that we're granting asylum to at the time. Like the guy who's in Venezuela said that the politician he worked for disappeared and was murdered, I'm assuming, because that sounds like Venezuela. And that was the guy, that was his boss. So he fled. Just before Mayorkas' statements on termination of Title 42, a federal judge in Florida blocked a Biden policy of expediting the release of some migrants to prevent overcrowding in Border Patrol facilities. The agency said it had nearly 25,000 migrants in custody on Thursday. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE said it will increase the number of beds by several thousand. On the evening of 11 May, Quintero, who along with his wife and daughters were released from the detention center in El Paso, reached out to the Venezuelan relative he had left behind in Ciudad Juarez, worried about his whereabouts. He was sad because he is now alone in Mexico, said Quintero, whose final destination is Chicago, but his court appointment is in Texas. He thinks he got deported because he came by himself with no children to the United States. That's just his personal claim. But yeah, like there's going to be immigration every fucking day at the border. There's going to be immigration every fucking day at the airport. I think the more important thing is to do it legally and know who the fuck's coming, right? Rather than like trying to sneak people in and fucking who the fuck is this and they just showed up and blah, blah, blah or whatever. Like I would rather people be seen and know who they are, I guess. At least for me. Maybe that's wrong. A wrong way to think about it, but that's the way I feel about it. We're not gonna get immigration down to zero. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. We can't get it down to zero. We can't get it down to fucking 100. We can't get it down. Like there's several thousand people entering the U.S. every day that are here to immigrate or seek asylum or whatever. Well, it doesn't really matter what their reasoning is for, but just for immigration. So I would rather know who those people are and that they qualify for some type of relief or support or whatever, than I would just random fucking people come in, I guess. Like I mean, like it. Here's what I want people to know. Like instead of running around, you might not like Biden's policy, and that's fine. And we can argue about it or we can debate it or whatever. I don't particularly like Biden's policy. The problem is there's no nuance in people that are on the right anymore. People that support Trump, people that do whatever. They're just screaming, Biden opened the border and everybody's coming in. Everybody. Like it's wide open. There'll be millions of people here and they're going to rape my daughter or whatever. When in actuality, like it's not wide open. There's a process. You might believe the process is too loose. You might believe the process is not well regulated, or the app is stupid, or whatever you want to believe about it. But just to scream that the border's wide open because Trump's not here is silly at this point. Like that's not what's going on. Damn it, there's one right there. That's not what's going on. So it would be better off to know what the policy actually is. And say, hey, this is the policy. Like it seems like he's at least going to try to get them to their appointment where they have to kind of meet some type of vetting process. they're not. It's not like the Border Patrol is just looking up in the air. You know what I mean? And not they even sending fucking active duty military or National Guard and active duty military troops to go help with the crisis at the border. Like, it's not like they're just letting anybody in at any time and they're just standing there with their thumbs, you know, they're twiddling their thumbs or whatever. Like, that's literally not what's happening. But that's what people on the right will tell you is happening, which is strange. Is that shot too far? Damn. Fuzzy holes, that's right. I just like I don't care which side you are on immigration. If you want to argue it, I just get so tired of hearing the same people say the same stupid shit. Oh, the borders are wide open now. Thanks a lot, Biden. Like that, I don't know. I just think people would get tired of being wrong or having the exact same outlook. You know, like just making up their own fucking narrative just because they don't like a guy or whatever. Damn it, I made the same mistake again. You got to chase me this time, buddy. Going around here.
Stop me if you can.
Like, just, I don't know. I guess just know what's actually going on, what the policy actually is if you're going to argue the policy, I guess would be my point more than anything. It gets old hearing people argue like it's wide open. They're ignoring it. I mean, you can argue it needs to be stricter. You can say, well, the app ought to have a restriction on it to where it can only do 200 people a day, and there shouldn't be 100% approval rate or whatever the rate is. The rate of approval should be restricted, and they need to ask this question, this question, this question, and they should do this, and they should do that, and they should separate people at the border or not separate people at the border if they have families. Like, you can argue all that, but just to scream the border's open because Biden's here and Trump, I think it's just lazy. Like, you could easily look a lot of this stuff up. And just even if you just have to read the fucking policy, not that big a deal. But I don't know. I think like where everything's got so politicized lately, like everybody's going to pick their narrative. If Trump's in, we're going to scream the border's closed, and if Biden's in, we're going to scream it's open, and then we're going to get mad if anybody disagrees with us, and then like it's just, I don't know. It's wild sometimes to just listen to the back and forth. There's got to be immigration. Like, you can't You can say it needs to be substantially reduced, and that's fine, but there's going to be immigration no matter what. A level 7 crackle, I bet you that's a bad fucking pistol, I bet. Oh, did I not take? Oh, there it is. It's 224 per shot. That's almost as much as a sniper rifle. Shatters petrified enemies, staggers enemies 50% faster. Damn, that's a badass fucking gun. Looks like. I have a problem with them not going through the proper channels. I was born in Spain to military family. Both my parents are Mississippians. Yeah, but that's what they're arguing for. No one yet has made the case that you don't have to go through a proper channel. Biden is not like they just get here. We just say, fuck it, they can stay. Like that some people did, like the Border Patrol and Army were trying to keep these people from crossing. They were staged there. They called them up. They're blah, blah, blah. Some people did get in that way and got a court date.
I know that there was a rumor going around about some people had court dates like way out in like 2027 or something. I don't know. I don't know when the court dates were set for, but like that guy's court date is in December, I think he said, which doesn't seem unreasonable to me, a December court date. Ooh, got him. But yeah, I don't think anybody's advocating for just no, you don't even have to fucking try to go through it, right?
You just make it. Anybody that gets here is cool to go. Like, it doesn't matter. I think some people do get in that way, and I think I don't know. So the problem I have, I guess, with the border wall is like we could put up a wall or a fence or whatever, but most of our illegal immigration comes through airports. Like it seems strange to waste all the money on the wall if most of our illegal immigration comes through airports. It seems like there's got to be a better system than the wall, like something to scan or check. And it's most of our illegal immigration are people that get issued a visa or a work, or a green card or something like that, and then overstay it. That's where the vast majority of illegal immigration comes from. People fucking overstaying their limits, or at least that's what the statistics say. Oh, I thought I could jump up there. I guess not. Is that something? Of course.
Let's do some recon.
No, that's not true. That's one of the dumbest theories.
I heard it's being done on purpose by the UN and World Economic. That's a super fucking conspiracy that's been touted for years and never been proven true. Places like the UN obviously vouch for asylum seekers and shit. That's how they... Where did you see that person glitch? Look at that. I personally think that asylum seekers should have, asylum if they actually deserve it. I mean, they're being persecuted, destroyed, their families being hunted where they're from. Like, that's not a big deal to me. But, of course, the UN and places like that are going to vouch for it. I think the World Economic Foundation and the UN has very little interest in overrunning our border at some point, or for having other people overrun our border and pound us into submission. I think if the damn Republican Party would work on, I'm not saying be racist, like being racist. I'm sure there are some Republican Party members that are racist, but all the time they make statements, appearances, press releases, appear on news, and they seem super racist, the shit that they claim. Like, I'm not saying they are racist, but the shit they claim makes them seem super fucking racist. But like, Latino people, typically have quite a bit of conservative values, right? They have a lot of conservative values. So it's kind of strange that like, they even vote Democrat. But they do, because they think that the Republicans, and often they're supported by the Republicans' talking point, are racist. Like, just like the, there's nothing wrong with, there is nothing wrong with voter ID laws, I don't think. Like, use voter IDs, make sure they're easy for everybody to get, make sure we're not excluding anybody. But the reason that North Carolina's voter ID law got struck down is because they specifically issued a commission to find out what cards were used for ID by race, and then banned the ones most used by Black and Hispanic people. Like, you can't do that. Clearly, that appears racist. It fucking looks racist. It probably is fucking racist. And then, like, how did you think that was going to stand? Trying to form a one world government. You realize that that's been the conspiracy theory since the fucking 60s, and it's never fucking... That's not going to happen. That's just a conspiracy theory. No one's trying to form a one world government. I mean, I know it's been around since the 60s and fucking, yeah, you probably seen it on a compound somewhere, but that's not happening. They're doing the worst fucking job at it, if it is. Literally the worst job at it. Like if they would, if North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina, if North Carolina would just been like, hey, any government form of ID, you have to have it to vote, and that would have passed their House and Senate and been signing the law, they'd have been fine. The reason they ended up at the Supreme Court is because they found out before they decided which ID they would take and which ID they wouldn't take, which they did. They wouldn't take stuff like, city issued or state issued like season pass bus tickets that had your picture on it. They wouldn't take certain other forms of ID that were technically government issued, because that's what they were going for, government issued. They wouldn't take those forms of ID. If they wouldn't have commissioned a study and said, "Oh, the black and brown people use these three. Let's stop accepting those. We'll only accept the rest of them." Like they probably would have got it passed.
Go on, Bird.
I didn't just say free. I said free and accessible, and a state ID is not free everywhere. Some states charge for them. But if we're just making generalities, yes, sometimes it is. Not always. Some states charge like I think when we went and get the kids state ID made, it was like $750 or something. Something like that. $750. I can't remember. They had to have it for something. Maybe it was just like a safety thing. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to find the safe house, buddy. You don't have to tell me it's straight ahead. Swear I'm straight ahead and crazy. Is there a ladder here somewhere? Maybe not. We won't climb that. They might have to build the bridge back to get over here. Again, I said North Carolina's law would have passed had they not banned the IDs that literally their survey said was used most predominantly by people of color, black and brown people. You can't do that. Of course that was going to get banned. Even if that was never their intention, how bad does that fucking look when it gets to the Supreme Court? It looks fucking horrible. Oh, you just happen to have this study that says that these are the IDs that are most likely used by poor black and brown people, and those are also the IDs you banned? That looks horrible. It probably would have passed without that. Or it probably would have stood without that, I guess. It wouldn't have been struck down.
Incoming dono clip.
Holy shit, that scared the hell out of me, whoever that was. Ramesh with $20. Holy shit. Papa's getting a new pair of shoes now. Thank you very much, Ramesh.
Well, Bird, this is Ramesh. I've got a real problem with the illegal migrants. The goddamn Canadian geese shitting everywhere.
The Canadian geese are shitting everywhere on you? The goddamn Canadian geese. The migrates. They're just, what does that one comedian call them? Snow Mexicans? Snow Mexicans. I know a lot of people. So here's the other thing. Like a lot of people say state IDs are free. They have to be accessible too. So like some people are inherently poor and you have to be able to defend this argument because somebody's going to make it. Poorer people that work day shift and government offices only open on day shift without a form of transportation. And where's their local place to get a government ID made? And they work the same days that it's open. They're going to make that argument. You have to be able to rebut that. They called the North Carolina law discrimination with almost surgical precision is what it is quoted as, which is crazy. Here it is. A day after, so here's what it says. In North Carolina, African Americans vote overwhelmingly for Democrats. They came out to vote in record numbers in 2008 and 2012 for President Barack Obama and helped to turn the traditionally Republican-leaning state into a swing state. North Carolina went to Obama in 2008 and was narrowly won by Romney in 2012. In 2013, in Shelby versus Holder, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned a selection of Voting Rights Act that North Carolina and other states with a history of voter discrimination to submit any voting law changes to the federal government for approval. A day after the Shelby decision, Republican lawmakers in North Carolina announced plans for an election law that the Federal Appeals Court has since found restricted voting and registration in several ways, all of which disproportionately affected African Americans. The court said that in crafting the law, the Republican-controlled General Assembly requested and received data on voters' use of various voting practices by race. They should have never, ever, ever, ever requested this data. They should have never, ever. Why would if you're sitting here and your claim is we're not doing this so black people don't vote. Your claim is we're just trying to secure voting. We're just trying to secure voting. Only citizens vote. We don't care what color they are as long as they're citizens. Why would you request data specifically by which race votes which way and what IDs do they use? Like that's fucking dumb as shit. That's dumb as shit. It found that African American voters in North Carolina are more likely to vote early, use same-day voter registration, and straight ticket voting. They were also disproportionately less likely to have an ID and more likely to cast a provisional ballot and take advantage of pre-registration. Then the court said lawmakers restricted all of those options. So their data comes in and it says, okay, the black voters, they are more likely to vote early. They like to use same-day voter registration. They like straight ticket voting. They also disproportionately are less likely to have an ID, and they're more likely to cast a provisional ballot and take advantage of pre-registration. So let's ban all those things. So they got the data, and then when the data said black people do this more, they said ban all that. Like, of course this is, I don't know how they ever thought this would stand. I don't know how they ever thought this would stand. They didn't do one of them. They didn't do two of them. They did like all 5 things that black people do. The court said the lawmakers restricted all of these voting options and further narrowed down the list of acceptable voter IDs. With race data in hand, the legislature amended the bill to exclude many alternate voter IDs that had been allowed in the past and were mostly used by African Americans. So they were allowing alternate IDs. They banned that, and that was the ones that the African Americans more likely to use. As amended, the bill retained only the kind of IDs that white North Carolinians were more likely to possess. The state offered little justification for the law, the court said. Those who defended the law said they were doing so to prevent voter fraud, although the new provisions target African Americans with almost surgical precision. They constitute inapt remedies for the problems, assertedly justifying them, and in fact, impose cures for problems that did not exist, the court said. It added, we can only conclude that North Carolina General Assembly enacted the challenged provisions of the law with discriminatory intent. Although it struck down the law, the court stopped short of recommending that North Carolina be pulled back under the Voting Rights Act pre-clearance requirement. With that panel, what the panel lays out is just the plainest reading of what transpired here, which is that legislation sought to target African-American voters to further entrench themselves in the legislature, said Chris Brooks, the legal director of North Carolina's American Civil Liberties Union. That is the chronology of what transpired here. That's the only reasonable interpretation of what transpired here. The North Carolina Attorney General, even if this would have been an accident, even if they would have just said, well, you know, I don't like this type of voting, and I don't like these type of ideas, and I don't like this, 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 whatever, and just said, you know, I don't think those are as safe. Let's just ban those. Even if it would have been complete coincidence, the moment that they requested the data by race, They fucked it. Why do you need the data by race? You can't tell looking at race who's legal, who's illegal, who's a citizen, who's not a citizen. Why do you need any data by race? What if they just said, well, we need everybody named Jerome. We need to see how everybody named Jerome votes. That was a mistake. You can't do that. To a more social government, trying to word it correctly, I don't think it'll. America doesn't do hard switches. America doesn't do hard switches. America does switches over time, long, steady, a little bit at a time, kind of trying to change up. I do believe that. So it's a battle of extremes. The more extreme our candidate is on the right, the more extreme they're going to want the candidate to be on the left. So as long as we have an extreme candidate on the right or the left, the other candidate is going to be pretty extreme, and one of them is bound to win. One of them is we're a two-party system. So I think slowly we're probably getting more acceptable of social programs. I've got no issue personally with like welfare, food stamps, blah, blah, blah. I don't want people abusing them. But I would rather let one person abuse it as long as I know, hungry kids are fed, than I would, get that one abuser out and accidentally flag 3 moms of, single moms with no jobs or whatever, and their kids starve, right? Same way with like justice. Like when you're on a jury, you'd rather let a murderer go than convict a couple of innocent people and have them stay in fucking jail. I don't want people to starve. So like, we have to be really careful when we stipulate, like say we're talking about food stamps, when we stipulate like job searches and this and that and other things they have to do to stay on food stamps, because even just forgetting to turn those things in. Let's say they did do the job search or whatever. They had a hectic week with their kids, blah, blah, blah. They forgot and they get kicked off and there's 3 months to wait to reapply because they're being punished for forgetting. Like, that's crazy. And I wouldn't want those kids or that family to be starving. So I would rather err on the side of, yeah, we got some people fucking our system, using food stamps to buy lobster and throw parties and shit like that. Sure. But I know that the people that need it also get it. Or the other approach, which I do not support, is, hey, we can be strict as fuck. Yeah, some families are going to get fucked. Some kids are going to go to bed hungry every night. But at least we don't have unless we have less people scamming our system. I just don't believe in that personally. But I guess that's the debate at heart. Like, I'm sure other people have pretty strong feelings about it at some point.
Go on, Bird.
I think a lot of times we are as a people, we're too quick to dehumanize people. Like, I've been poor. I've been hungry. I've been fucking, unable to feed myself or no money or whatever, like, we're too quick to think those people over there, that's the poors. That they need to get out and work. They need to do this. There's situations, guys, like that's not going to happen. It's not going to be conducive. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think anybody should be using it should be using welfare as their permanent position or blah, blah, blah. That's why we have stuff like disability and shit like that. But I'm also not one to be like, the lazy motherfuckers need to get a job. I worked all my life until I went crazy and blah, blah, blah. You don't see me out here asking for a handout or whatever. Like, I don't like that. Especially when we're talking about women and children and kids or whatever. Like, I can't get in that smoke. I don't know what to do here. I'm sure there's the lights. Where's the generator? Is that it right there? Yeah, I think we need to be real cautious. I mean, they're real people too, and they have real kids, and they have real problems. Everybody's had bad luck. Maybe it didn't hit as hard as like you needed fucking food stamps, but you remember like worrying how you're going to pay your bills or what's going to happen or like, or you should. Everybody should. I mean, I think everybody's been through that at some point in their life, or worried about the next payday. Are we going to make it? Are we going to pull through? Hell, I still do that with the stream. Like, in bad times, we've been real close to being in bad situations when, like, all the donations went down like 80% and shit. Like, we were fucking hard up. Like, that's not good. I don't want to be like that anymore. I would love to get away from that or do better. But I would like to think that after serving my fucking country, if I needed fucking assistance, that I could go get assistance and nobody'd fucking judge me and be like, this piece of shit won't get a fucking job, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And I know there's people that would instantly. There was people that said, oh, he's how old? Oh, able-bodied? Yeah, okay. He's probably a crackhead, blah, blah, blah. So, like, in my own case, where I don't have, it's not that bad. Like, I think I'd just find a way to make it work. I don't even think I'd apply for assistance. I'd be too ashamed of what everybody else would fucking say, and that's sad. It is what it is. I don't know if I can break that smoke maker or not. I don't even know how to turn on the power over there. Anybody see the power? I see the cords, but it looks like they run into that thing. They keep running at all? There should be a generator around here somewhere, and I just don't see it anywhere. This game's spooky at night, isn't it?
On, you worm bucket.
Is that the generator? No. I don't know what to do about that. I picked up a gas mask before in my backpack, but I think it just got rid of it. I don't think I can put it on. I have 1 skill point. Extended magazines. Look out. Oh, that one's locked there. Increase the amount of health generated when low. Well, I've already learned that one, I guess. Against humans. We'll decide that later. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, guys, but we'll look. I wish that shit would move away when I got near it, but it certainly doesn't, does it? And it looks like the cords run over there to the damn... That's weird as hell. It looks like the cords run over there to the thing that's making the smoke, which is crazy. Oh, I guess that was a smoke burning me. I don't know what the fuck that sound was. Playing cards and whiskey. That's always good, isn't it? Bug spray. Bug with 2 G's. That's original. My mother was single and we were on the system a few times. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't have no issue with that. Or, I mean, like, we said kids, but I don't even have an issue with, you know, like an adult that's struggling, like, can't find work, especially in a tough economy, dude. I think I have a different outlook than a lot of people. Like, I know a lot of people had... Like, grew up in times where they, you know, times, I'm not saying times are easy. I don't want to offend anybody or have them start their fucking boomer goddamn speech. But, Like, I graduated in at the fucking start of the goddamn collapse, right? Like, I graduated in 2007. That was the year I graduated. I went to a horrible job market, right? It sucks. It's fucking, I mean, it sucked. There were no jobs. There were no way to get a job. There was no way to be part of a job. It was horrible. Okay. The wires run all the way over there somewhere. I don't know if I can jump over there or not, but there's something on that roof. I bet you I can, huh? Ooh, stake launcher. Look out. There's also a bunch of footprints up here. I guess somebody killed him. But yeah, I don't have issues with people that are struggling, that can't be employed or can't find a good job or can't whatever. Like, yeah, it seems crazy to me that people will put people down and then who knows, maybe a year from now you're in their position and you gotta feed, you have no way to feed yourself. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't want that fucking, I don't even believe in karma, and I don't want that karma on me. Now, will that get rid of the smoke or no? Yes. Okay, so it's just like a little puzzle there, I guess. And this is what made the smoke, was this twisted ass fucking statue looking thing. That's crazy. It was, wasn't it? Shannon and on. Like, there were no jobs. I mean, there were no jobs. There was nothing local. There was no making money. It was just, I don't know. It was horrible. A bad time to graduate or whatever. Bad news, Ava, bad news. I had to ditch the house. Pretty sure my piece of shit brother ratted me out. Unfortunately, the recording is still there too. My plan had been to get over to Dad Catch and put it on the air. I'll try to circle back if things cool off. In the meantime, I'll be taking notes on the vamps and their little suck-ups. What I'd really like to do is start broadcasting live, get the word out on fighting back. There's hope. God bless Bill. That's the guy that's in the... Oh, get to Bill's house in Basswood. That's the guy his brother screwed him, and he's living in my camp right now. He's a piece of shit. Called us to set up a rally site, luring in locals, capturing some of them and bullying others into joining up. Locate the rally and destroy the vampire god effigy. Oh my god. That's a neighborhood mission. I hate all these damn radios playing all the time. What's this say? Take what you need. P.S. Write down any supplies you need. Bandage, chips. Awesome. I need them binos right there, baby. Is that Mountain Dew in a black box? Yeah, I mean, like, we've been in bad shape, right? I mean, like, I work off disability. Mariah works as she can, and we don't have a whole lot. We don't have a wealthy family. We don't have stuff in reserves, and like, if I don't stream and make some donations, I mean, there's times where, I mean, obviously me and Mariah would do without before the kids would, but we don't make a whole lot. Hopefully one day it pays off, and you know, the show gets a lot bigger and we have a lot more money. But hell, we struggle all the time. We're struggling right the fuck now. But I would never put somebody down for fucking struggling or whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just seems crazy. I thought I was supposed to be finding Bill's house. Where's it? Oh, right there. I guess I could go to the fire station first. How's your dad? He's doing all right. I'm going to go see him tomorrow. I got some car parts to put on his car. And we're going to be working on it. And then he's going 2 weeks before his next one. But they told us if that blister heals over completely and closes, that he can go back to wearing his shoes and come out of that boot he's been wearing. So he's doing all right. Oliver and Liam seem to be doing good. They're nothing wrong with them.
You ain't spying on us, right?
That's Joe. That's the guy who turned on his brother. You don't want to say shit to me, motherfucker. wonder what refresh supplies. Oh, that cost me $2,500 to change those. Damn, I didn't know I was doing that. Fuck.
Shoot one for me, Jacob.
See if there's anything good back here. Nope. Shit back there is a blood vial. I must have the best one. I need some lock picks though, I guess. A lock pick costs $1,250. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I got to go get this guy's brother and prove him. I'm going to be ending soon or here in a little bit. But I do need to go get this bride's brother right quick. But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want anybody to, I wish nobody had to struggle, right? It's a miserable life, always worrying. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't want to be rich. I don't know that I would do well being rich. Hell, I might overdose being rich. But I'd like to get in a position to where I wasn't worried, like, well, what if I do stream and nobody donates, or what if this month is bad, or what if the light bill doubles, or what if one of us gets in a car wreck and that would cause some type of horrible, payment that we couldn't make, something we couldn't afford. And most people live like that. If you look at the percentages, most people couldn't afford a few $1,000s for an emergency, right? So it's not just me, not just somebody else. Like, obviously it is, it's a thing that's going on currently with more than just me. I mean, it's.
Let's do some recon.
Give me a...
All clear.
Oh God, I heard somebody with a bullhorn. Anytime somebody with a bullhorn freaks out, then we're screwed.
Ghosting out. Make yourself useful.
They don't know where the hell it went, do they? I don't think they're following me anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to worry. I'm not worried about, becoming Phil and having millions of dollars and multiple properties all over the fucking world and shit. I just don't want to have to worry and be able to give my kids a good life and make sure that they don't have to worry, at least as children. Like, I remember being a kid and being like fucking, learning about like a layoff or learning about how much this bill was or learning about something like that and honestly being scared about it myself. I don't think a kid shouldn't be scared about money. You know what I mean? Like, that has nothing to do with a kid. A kid should be a kid, and I don't know. I don't want my kids to ever be like that. I remember my dad worked a job as my dad was a dump truck driver for a company called Summers and Taylors, and every summer or every winter he would get laid off because it was road construction. They don't do road construction in the winter; the pavement won't stick. So every winter, we would all know it was coming. We would all know what was happening, and we would know that Dad got laid off, and we can't afford to buy things right now. We probably aren't going to have the best food right now. You know what I mean? We're probably going to be eating the same things a few times. We just make big pots of something and eat it. Hell, Dad would go and pretend like we were doing school fundraisers so he could sell fucking donuts, Krispy Kreme donuts, even though we were not doing school fundraisers. That was just something he he made up so we could do it. So it was he could make a little bit of money to pay the bills. Where's that one I just got right there? Level 7 Gulch. Oh yeah, it does 44 damage. Yeah, I like the Gulch anyways. Extra 10% damage. I wonder if it has a spike on it or not. I hope so. It doesn't look like it has a bayonet, does it? Oh, it does. It has a wooden one. Okay. Just didn't look like it. Door barricaded. I can't even open it, and that one's barricaded. I guess I want to go around back, maybe, or through a window or something. I see a vampire up there, obviously. Oh, he's right above me. He's not even inside.
I see you.
I thought he was in that room. He was just looking through the window. What a fucking creeper. Hope there's no alarm. Holy shit, there's alarms everywhere though. For Bill's house. I have that one silenced, I think. I can do it. Damn it, can I get to these to turn them off? I don't even know where that one's firing from. Damn. Look at this shit. This is going to be bad. Taking back the airwaves. I don't know if I'm going to crawl into that or not. Does it look like, chat? Does it look like I'm going to make it? I did. Whew. Oh, a gas mask. That's cool. Again, I don't think I can use it, but that's cool. Ammunition box. But now I don't know where to go. I can't go through there, obviously. Can I shoot this one out? Doesn't seem that way. Where did those beams come from, though? I don't know if there's room to jump over that other one. Can I jump over it? Is that even a thing? Oh, wait. Is this refrigerator fake? The fuck? Is this a fake refrigerator, guys? The fuck is going on here? Look at that. Alright, so there's something to this, obviously. I don't know what, but there's something. Okay. Doodle donuts.
You could never have stopped us. You never could have stopped your sister.
It's really scary to be on the edge of losing everything. I think even if I became wealthy, I'd still be it's exactly.
I think that when poor people work their ass off to get money, that they stay frugal. But I think when poor people just get like a, oh, I can get up here. This is something new. When poor people just get kind of like a crazy handout or just strike it rich suddenly and do something crazy, I think that's they do it. They end up spending it a lot different. They end up almost wasting it all. Oh, I didn't even know I could take this. Potted meat. Look out. Now we're shitting in high cotton, boys. I don't know how to get through here without tripping this alarm, and I cannot see the damn. I cannot see where the sensors are coming from. Maybe if I shoot it. Oh, there's one. Okay. Oh, but I started a fire? That can't be good.
Same shit, different day.
I guess I have to wait for this fire to burn out. I don't have a fire extinguisher. Oh, no, I'm not asking anybody to donate more. I don't want you to misconstrue that. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to state, like, the way that I grew up, the way that we live now, we'll make it. It's not like that. This is the only silenced gun I've found in this whole friggin' game. And you think that would be like the biggest asset to playing this game is have something silenced because everybody responds to sound. Was that smoke? Is the fire growing? Man, I can't run through it. Can I?
Let's do some recon.
Oh, well, that bird just put it out. Okay. That was cool. I saw back here is a shitter, for sure. I like to go use people's bathrooms that don't want me to. Yeah, lottery winners, or even, I hate to say this, but you see it in a lot of athletes, right? That come up out the ghetto and, or whatever, and then they're like, or regardless of color, and then they get suddenly wealthy, like super fucking wealthy. Oh, should I turn the switch on? Where does that go to? Now I need to know. It goes to that battery in a big ass lot. Stake launcher ammo full. Don't turn on the amplifier. Don't play the guitar. Oh, turn off. I will play the guitar as long as it's off. He's been throwing darts in here. Should I lower that barricade? Damn it, I don't know.
Damn.
Well, kind of hurt myself there, huh?
That's better. Let's do some recon.
Oh, I don't think it's the dart. It must not be the bird that put the fire out, I guess. It looks like if I flip that switch, it's going to turn on a big-ass lot. Maybe. I don't know. He's got everything gassed up good, don't he? Are you thinking about doing another game? Maybe. I'm just finishing this one up because I was just going to stream for a little bit. As soon as I finish this mission, I'm done. It's 1 a.m. I need to get some more sleep. I didn't get hardly any sleep. That happens a lot of MC Hammer. Yeah, MC Hammer. A lot of athletes, and it's sad because you see these college athletes, and then they go pro, and then they get some type of career-ending injury, and that's it. They're fucking once their career's done like that, they're done. Awesome. Can't do that. What is going on here? That can't be true, right? Y'all see me hitting these things? Or what? Am I making it up? None of them. Nada. Maybe I do need to go flip a switch, I guess. But I think that flip switch just goes that fucking lot, don't it? I'm only 10 meters away. I don't think I can jump those. And I don't know why I can't destroy them. I've destroyed every other fucking one. Let me go flip a switch, see what it does. Fuck. I can always turn it off, I guess. Right? Oh, it just turned on a UV light. And an open sign. Was that open sign on before? Let me go see. Yeah. So maybe just the UV light, I guess. In case anybody comes in. But it doesn't fix this situation. I'm fixing to die in here. I guess I could jump that. I don't know. I guess so. Wasn't as bad as it seemed, I guess, chat. What did I just see it turn red? Oh, door. Okay. Go to Dead Catch Records to play it. This is a recording we made. If something happens to me, get this to Dead Catch Records and put it on air. Get the word out about these bloodsuckers. If I somehow manage to survive all this, I'm going to get a live broadcast going again, and it won't be about cars this time. So he was a mechanic and broadcast about cars, I suppose. I just heard somebody talking. Are they downstairs? Heard somebody say, "Oh yeah," or something like that.
Show me something good.
He instantly hit one somewhere. I didn't see him though.
If you knew the blood trash like I do.
Must be a stupid vampire guy still, I guess. No, it's right there. And something is alerted. Taking back the airwaves. I already got that, lady. Oh, hack this safe. Let's see what's in his safe. On vacay tomorrow for a long weekend. Crafting. Good night all. Good night. That one vampire was just sitting outside his window like a fucking creeper.
If they don't do as I say, it won't end well for them.
Something called a proctor squirrel. I don't even know what the fuck that is, to be honest with you. What is a proctor squirrel?
Your small, precarious life, useless, worthless.
There's a thing of bleach. Do I need to go over all the way over there to get it? I don't think it's worth it, guys. It's going to be so hard to freaking jump back across. Are you shitting me? It actually worked that time? But only from up here. How fucking dumb. Why is it still showing me an exclamation point here? Is there something I'm supposed to do here? I took the tape recorder, right? I read that. It should be go to Dead Catch Records right there, right? Okay. Missions. Go to Dead Catch Records. Okay. So technically I could fast travel there. Hold on. We're close to it. Where am I at? I'm at Bill's house. There's a safe house. There's a stormy point. I guess I need to go to the safe house maybe. I can't fast travel to the record place, but I can go to the safe house. Same thing,
But I'm finishing this game. It's a fun game, man. Listen while I watch the NHL game.
Shananon, yep, I grew up the dude that went to the NFL. He's fine, no paralyzed, but he broke his neck third season. Dude, have you? I don't know if you guys ever check out the. I think it's wild about the like the brain injuries over and over again. Wrestlers and football players or whatever, and they end up being, you know, like more likely to snap or what? Well, who was the famous wrestler that killed his whole family or whatever? Just snapped and killed his whole family, then himself. Like that shit's crazy. From TBIs, traumatic brain injuries.
Benoit, yeah, you got him.
That shit is wild to me. Just wild.
Ghosting out. Make yourself useful.
I'm backed into that stupid ass gas, but I killed that guy at least. I didn't expect him to be just coming around the corner there. It was crazy. Let me get to the record station and play the record, I guess. And maybe we'll go from there, guys. I'll probably call it a night after that, but... Is that where the Hollow Man is or something? What's that keep showing on my map? It shows a butterfly. No, Samuel's Shipyard. Is that part of my mission? Hold on. Follow the Hollow Man's door. No. What is Samuel's Shipyard? Is that something? Start a safe house mission. Take my airwaves. Huh. I don't know why that's so prominent on my map, but whatever.
Two shots on goal. Damn. Fourth overtime. Oh, 102 shots on goal. I don't know if that's great. That sounds like a lot.
But I don't really watch hockey. Seems like it'd be cool, but I don't really watch it.
Go on, Bird.
Oh, it isn't here. I'm still 100 meters away. It's on around the corner, isn't it? I've been there before. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I already cleared it out once before, but they might have taken it back over. I can't remember. Or I don't know. It would appear that way, wouldn't it? Now, let's mark them.
Show me something good.
Marked a vampire in that corner too, didn't it? Old Vampy. Should have known. There'll be more of these assholes every time I come back here. Oh, god damn, look at all of them. They're everywhere, bro. I wonder if I can take this guy out on the outside without... Damn it. Damn it, stop missing. At least the vampires didn't come, I guess. That's good, huh? I keep hearing somebody shooting. Are they shooting at me? Took out that turret gun. I don't know if I got Huskels. That's what I hear. That's the place to be, maybe. Are they killing a zombie in there? Or, yeah, a fucking, were they killing a vampire in there? What it looked like.
Make yourself useful.
I didn't mean to do that. I meant to walk down through there. I didn't mean to jump in it.
I got a blip over here.
You got a blip over here.
Go on, bird.
I'm gonna kick those victors right in their damn teeth for pulling our birds down.
Drop your weapons.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Might be a victor or a townie.
Didn't even see that guy first. I'm gonna hack this thing for me, I guess.
That's better.
What did I alert just now? I've been all the way back there to that record room. I gotta go upstairs. Guess I need a shotty, but...
Show me something good.
They're both just inside there. Damn, I have to fight two of them at once, aren't I? Kind of an exit I can get out of here, though. That's cool.
Go on, bird.
The customer is not always right. Sometimes they suck ass. If you have a rude customer, let Matt know.
Let Matt and I know. We'll give them the special.
Do not let Colin in the building. He knows what he did. First time I've ever seen those. All right, I guess we're doing it, guys. You ready? I guess they were hibernating.
You can't win.
Did you see they were just asleep in there or something? I bet you I could have snuck in.
No more creepers.
Loving the video. I'm glad somebody does. I don't get hardly any viewers doing it, but I'm glad somebody does. Thank you.
Hey, Redfall, this is Phil here from Bill and Bob's Auto Hour. This is a broadcast for the people of Redfall.
Got it.
But there are vampires roaming our streets. The only way to kill one is with a stake through the heart.
FBI whistleblowers. I haven't watched it, to be honest with you. I know somebody mentioned it. I was actually going to watch some of it today, I guess, but
I didn't really mess around with it. Are you talking about the FBI whistleblowers or the IRS whistleblowers? Which one are you talking about?
With some UV lights if you got them. It will stop the vampires. It won't stop their cultists. Our friends, neighbors, family members, they made their choice, didn't they?
I was hoping he'd say something about his brother.
Anyway, find a weapon. Defend yourselves. If you don't, the vampires will come for you. We're stronger than this, Redfall.
I guess the IRS whistleblower hasn't come forward yet, has he?
Retake our town. Stay safe out there. That's what you wanted, right, Rev? Yeah, anything to help out. We're lucky to have you. Now it ain't still rolling, it's done. Of course I'm sure. Worked in radio for what, 30 years? What do you mean the lights still... Oh, yeah, never mind.
So that was Bill's big broadcast there. Yeah, they were both in here sleeping on the corner. It's weird you can play every instrument. I think it is. Why are vampires humming? Oh, they're sleeping here too, in the corners, huh? Did I just walk right past them? No, I was just over there. I didn't walk past them. Wonder why they sleep in the corners like that. Is it just because it's daytime, you think? Huh. My turret ought to kill them eventually, right? All right. Anyways, let's go back to the firehouse, and then we'll probably shut her down, guys. I gotta confront that guy about his brother, see if he says anything, then shut her down.
They all hibernating or poorly scripted. Yeah, that was weird.
And I guess they expect. So most of the time, when you finish a mission, you would just fast travel back here. I just like walking around and make sure I got everything, but they probably didn't expect me to do that. I bet. They probably expect me just to fast travel back. And maybe that's set up now for the next time I have to go there or something. I don't know. This guy right here is the one who, that was his brother.
Anna?
He set him up. Bill and Joe.
We found him. The Hollow Man. Bring some justice out of that son of a bitch. For me, for this little guy, for his daughter, too.
Need to get that safe house. I gotta destroy those nests where I can get the things. But man, they sound kind of crazy. So I have to destroy these nests. Have like mini bosses in them. These nests do, the ones with the blue circles around them, and I have to have 3 mini boss skulls to open the door to the Hollow Man to kill him, and that would beat the game, I'm assuming. But I haven't done it yet. I want to unlock all the safe houses. I guess they're pretty fun. I'm hoping to confront that guy's a fucking traitor motherfucker. Like I was hoping to confront him, but I haven't had a chance yet. The guy in here in the ammo room, I've overheard him a couple times, literally just outright talking about being a traitor, traitorous piece of shit. But it is what it is, I guess. I haven't been down in the basement in forever. I wonder if anything's changed.
Well, I didn't get dressed for nothing.
Watch your step. This person's been working on this for like 3 weeks. It just labeled them civilian only. It's funny. This is the first place you guys saw me fight to get into, is the firehouse, and found all those people trapped there, and we just turned it into our base, I guess. But no, I don't see nothing here. I need to do my daily ritual, make some popcorn. I guess that'll be it. And go look at the mission sheet.
Sorry.
Let me know if you need anything.
Let's see what missions are left, guys, and then we'll wrap her up. Joe Bull didn't like him yesterday either. Yeah, well, Bull already knows, I think. So the mission I'm on right now, I'm assuming is the last one. It's called the Hollow Man. It says you pinpointed the Hollow Man's lair using the radio equipment at Heritage Rock Lighthouse, and you captured a remnant from his twisted past at Addison Mansion. You can only open the way to his lairs by collecting 3 vampire underboss skulls. Acquire underboss skulls by completing safe house missions, liberating neighborhoods. When you are ready, travel to the Hollow Man's lair. So I must have already done one. I don't know if I got a skull yet or not. Let me see. Inventory. Will it tell me if I have a skull yet or not? Oh yeah, I have 0. I still gotta get 3 of them. So liberating neighborhoods, finishing these side missions that I've got, like this one. Use the neighborhood map to start a safe house mission. I didn't do that. Yeah, but I should have, I guess. And I have no safe house missions going on right now, but this is the Hollow Man. Find the Hollow Man's door. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for the people who donated. I think Austin sent a donation. A couple people resubscribed. There's 100 bits from Dreamweaver right off the bat, so thank you for that. I don't say things. I want to be clear. I don't say things like talk about our struggles or whatever. I just share a lot. So someone the other day when I was talking about my mom and how I felt about my mom and Mother's Day said that I was like begging for sympathy. I'm just open about like what I do and who I am and the stream and stuff. Maybe we overshare too much. I don't know, but like I don't want anybody to ever think that like I'm saying, oh, we've struggled before or struggling now because I'm begging for donations, or that I don't do well with Mother's Day because I'm fucking begging for sympathy or whatever. Like I feel like I'm just pretty honest with you guys. I try to share everything. I try to share everything with you guys that I can, and try to be pretty honest about it and what's going on in my life and what's happening around me, and just be honest with you guys. So I hope you take that into account. I don't want to make anybody feel guilty or make anybody feel like I'm trying to harvest sympathy or guilt or anything off of them. I'm just trying to talk to you like I talk to anybody else. So everybody have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll be out of here. I'm going to be working on my dad's car tomorrow. I got to make up some Patreon shows that I haven't done in a while. But I'll be working on my dad's car tomorrow in the daytime, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I can take the popcorn now? Sweet. So I'll be hanging out here, and I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you in the next one. Let's see if I can play some outro music. There won't be many more video game streams for a while, I guess, unless it's like at a time by itself. I just it runs most of the viewers off, but it is what it is. See you guys.
When you're born into a fire, let them burn it out.
I can close the pop out video. There we go. Go back to the intro screen. See you guys. Have a good one. I got to reset the camera tomorrow too. Burn your fucking popcorn, lady. How about that? Fucking tired of it. I can't even stand the smell of burnt popcorn. Like I know you like it, and I joke with you about it, but I can't even take that fucking, like if I smell it, I don't know. It like turns my stomach. Feel like I'm gonna get a headache. I don't, but I feel like I'm going to. I'm glad I figured out the gaming and the streaming thing. I think I got it all fixed now, guys, so that should work. They banned microwave popcorn in the office I worked in because of the burnt one. Yeah, I don't like the smell of it at all. Or somebody puts fish in the microwave at the office and everything tastes and smells like fish. I know it's not cube steak, but I don't do liverwurst either. Liverwurst. Assless chaps and backwards hats. That's what I always say. I've never had liverwurst. It just sounds bad. It looks like lower quality bologna, I guess. All right, see you guys.